nextgen.com/ESPN. Thrive starts with a comprehensive cyber risk assessment. Their security analysts identify gaps and deliver proactive solutions to help keep your network healthy and protected. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Get ready. Visit thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. Play defense. Use Thrive and protect your business.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma Brands radio station.
Here we go. Travis Rogers, DeMarco Farr.
The far side. You ready for the far side? I'm in the far side.
You're in the far side.
Welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. So let's get to the fun, shall we? The Travis and DeMarco Show right now.
You can't be doing that, AK. Yeah. You can't be doing that. Yeah. Telling me some sob story right before we start the show.
Right before the show begins.
What's happening?
Not much, man. Still in another day for Travis Rogers. Hopefully he is feeling better. Out and about.
You think he was really feeling bad? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Isn't his daughter's graduation tomorrow?
It's tomorrow, but Travis doesn't call out often,
No,
so I trust him when he's.
Travis likes to work.
Yeah.
Travis has been in this industry long enough that, like everybody in this industry, you are paranoid about getting replaced at a moment's notice.
But every now and then you got to shut that off because of something momentous, like your daughter graduating. So that's where your focus should be. So
right,
yes.
and I don't want him to attend his daughter's graduation while feeling ill.
No, and like I said, it's 2-minute drill, and you need to stop the clock, and you have no timeouts. Grab your ankle. Hey, I'm hurt. Prove it. Just saying. I got a backache.
Back on Tuesday.
Yes.
We'll get a Marcus and DeMarco special on Monday.
Marcus.
Have you ever worked with Marcus before?
Indirectly, yes. Like we've been in a room of like 3 people.
Yeah, the crosstalk course.
Yeah, this will be fun. I like Marcus. Marcus is cool.
Marcus is a lot of fun to work with. During the Dodgers World Series run last year, we were doing a lot of shows in-game commentary.
Oh.
Like essentially just commenting on the games as it went along. And Marcus and I did a lot of those together.
Yeah.
It was both a lot of fun and the easiest money you can ever make because, there are rules where you cannot get so close towards play-by-play. Like it cannot be play-by-play. You have to make sure that you are not describing everything in real time to the point where it could be considered.
Oh, really? Is that how that works?
Yeah,
Okay.
there are like FCC rules involved with that. So
You ever got a warning?
Never touched up against a warning, but I know people have.
Okay, yeah.
So Marcus and I were talking just enough that we could let the listeners know what's happening, paint the picture, but not so much that we could get the station in trouble, which means really we were largely paid to sit here and watch the game.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's fun. Right down the middle and not get in trouble. That's cool.
That is a very, very easy, very fun.
Well, he's
side.
one of those dudes you can tell, at least I can tell. Immediately I know I'm going to like you. Like when he sat down one time and he had a Darth Vader lunch pail. And I'm like, I get you. I understand you. Like everything. We probably have a lot of shared experiences.
He's on the dark side?
No, I don't know. I think he might be a Jedi. He might be a good guy. I am definitely Sith Lord. I'm trying to cut your head off. Oh, yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Do you have to be that way to some
The Empire
degree?
has the cooler toys, by the way. But go ahead.
Do you have to be that way to some degree to having made it as a professional athlete?
No, I just want to be that guy. That's me, yeah. I don't want a whole bunch of Jedi.
Double lightsaber?
No, I want the Death Star. That's me. I'm that guy.
You know it got blown up, though.
Well, we build another one. We got enough. We got enough
Bigger,
money. Come on.
faster,
Yeah, we just got to stop those pesky Jedi. Yeah.
Hey, the Death Star's that round one, right? That big round one?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the
You don't know Star Wars?
I really don't.
You've never seen Star Wars?
I mean, I've seen them, but the Death Star's that big round ship.
It's basically a robot planet that can blow stuff up.
Okay.
Like a Waymo, but a planet.
Although it was,
And you can,
in retrospect, way too vulnerable because they managed to find its weakness, and Luke Skywalker, who, let's be honest, barely trained on the job at that point.
A little bit.
Like a newbie, he ends up blowing up the Death
Well, remember,
Star.
it was
Spoiler
treachery that blew up the Death Star. Like the rebellion would never have gotten in there unless somebody from the inside told them how to do it.
Sure.
If you didn't know about that little exhaust port, we're ruling the galaxy right now.
So Rogue One, they stole the plans for.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rogue One is what leads up to Princess Leia having access to those planes.
Yeah.
She puts them in the R2 unit.
The rebels
gets
are the
discovered
bad
by
guys.
Luke.
Jorge.
So let me ask you about Mad Max. I'm just
Not again. No.
Speaking of which, though, just to put a button on yesterday's
Oh, I hate
10-minute
you,
rabbit
Jorge.
hole with the Mad Max series, as I did some sleuthing on this because I like to waste my time on things that are both totally meaningless
Your
and
OCD.
super important.
Yes.
There is no real consensus in terms of the Mad Max chronological timeline and how the movies line up. I also, to Emily's credit, there is at least an online theory among movie people that Mad Max, Mel Gibson, and Tom Hardy are not actually the same people. Max is sort of like a title, like a concept passed down. That doesn't totally track to me, but now at least I understand why Emily thought
Like
that.
Max is a smuggler, or a guy that can get you from A to B, and so it's the idea of the term of you're a Max.
Right,
Like
like a
a
Mandalorian as opposed to a Boba Fett.
Kind of.
Boba Fett is a person, Mandalorians are...
It's a job.
Yeah.
Well, Furiosa, right? There was a Max character in it,
Yes.
sort of. Yeah, that could have been Max.
To me, Fury Road, that is clearly the same Max. Mad Max.
Right.
Now, at least, I learned if nothing else, Emily, you were not alone.
And then the original, the very first #1 Mad Max have the kind of impetus of all the world,
Yes.
which is why
We
that's
are,
the first.
we are still in a civilized environment, sort of, in Mad Max. It's starting to fall.
Right, you can see that
Chronologically, that's first.
yes,
Yeah.
civilized society
They hadn't dropped the bomb yet.
is about to fall apart.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Move on. Yes. Anyway, see, not to get stuck, Jorge. Great game. Well, I hate you. Great game last night. Both the Thunder and the Nuggets. How about the Nuggets hanging in there, sticking it to Malone one more time? We don't need you.
Yeah. That, speaking of the wreck, good piece from Ken Rosenthal, The Athletic, about how the Angels, not that it necessarily needs a reminder, their time with Otani was an absolute wreck on a lot of different levels.
Yeah.
Like
Otani right now? Anybody help me?
Take a quick look.
And I assume he's pretty mature and has a lot of people in his corner that know things.
30.
About 30 years old. So that's old enough. I would imagine, like, do you think at some point Otani or Otani's people, his handlers, whatever, when this guy's been a phenom his whole life, right? Kind of like Luka here. He's been a phenom his whole life. Do you think they knew at some point he's going to wind up playing for the Dodgers? Before he even became an Angel.
I think it had always been a possibility. Like, remember, when the Angels first won the Otani sweepstakes, that was before there was a DH in the National League. So
right.
There was not the same.
The Dodgers had pursued him.
Right. The Dodgers had pursued him, but the problem is when you don't have a DH position, you don't have that slot available, and Otani at the time did not do anything in the field other than pitching, you're not giving Otani the same opportunity to hit and pitch, which was the thing he wanted to do at the time.
Right. Okay.
So that put the Dodgers out of any realistic running
for
from the
now.
outset.
And was the DH was being discussed in the NL around that? At some point, it's coming to the NL.
I don't remember exactly when that began getting discussed, but I know it got implemented during Otani's time as an Angel.
Okay, so I just wonder if the Dodgers knew at some point we're going to wind up getting this guy. And I wonder if Otani's people and Otani knew at some point I'm going to wind up being a Dodger because I'm this good and I'm not going to spend my entire life as an Angel.
Well, here's the thing.
So I'll say this, like with football and draft. Les Snead, if they love a guy and then somebody else selects them in the draft before they can get to him, it's not like they just write the guy off. They still monitor. At some point, we may be able to get him down the road.
Of course.
Right. So I wonder, maybe Otani said, whatever the Angels wanted to do, I'm just not down with it. I don't want to do this with you because it's short money anyway. I'll wait until I become a Dodger to maximize my value.
I would think that the Dodgers, because of who they are as a franchise and the money that they are willing to spend, particularly over the last, I don't know how many years, 10 or so of this new ownership group, there's a part of them that feels like we could be in play for anybody. Like you look at even a guy like Aaron Judge, who there's no reason to think he's ever going to be anything.
You need to have a profile on everyone because anyone could be a Dodger. That makes sense,
right? If you're a Dodger, even though again there is no reason to believe that Aaron Judge is ever going to be anything other than a Yankee,
but you never know.
If you are the Dodgers, you believe it is at least a potential possibility in a way that say the Mariners don't. Like the Mariners don't think about themselves as a potential Aaron Judge destination. It could happen because weird things happen. But they're not the type, the Tigers don't think about themselves as, a real live potential destination.
Yeah, all due respect to the Mariners and Mariners fans. Judge to the Mariners is downsizing for him.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
You're downgrading.
The Dodgers will always think about themselves as a possibility for a player like Otani, in part because I think, and we can talk about this coming up next, they think expansively in ways that it's really been revealed the Angels never did with Otani.
Even if they did, if I'm Otani, I wouldn't let him do it. Why?
Well,
It's still short money.
Okay.
Right.
Talk about all of that coming up next, especially in light of the Freeway Series beginning this weekend.
Traffic Series,
Car Accident Series. Travis and DeMarco Show, 710 ESPN.
For ESPN LA contest rules, go to ESPNLA.com and click the contest button.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Cappy here to tell you about my great friends at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. I'm a huge fan for so many reasons. The safety, technology, versatility, reliability, and they're all about the Subaru Love Promise. The cars are spacious and sporty. You got to go see my boy Omar and his team at Ocean Subaru of Fullerton. They're focused on your needs, and they're the most knowledgeable people when it comes to getting you into the right Subaru. Ocean Subaru, 1100 South Euclid in Fullerton, just off the 91 freeway. Go to OceanSubaruOC.com. That's OceanSubaruOC.com. Ocean Subaru of Fullerton, where every Every journey starts with love.
Ready for a delicious escape? The New Island's Restaurant's $10 protein bowls are your ticket. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients. They're only here for a limited time, so enjoy one today. Visit islandsrestaurants.com.
Hey, John Ireland here. Laker fans, meet Pro Baller Energy, the official energy drink of the Lakers. It's a natural, healthier alternative loaded with ultra-premium ingredients like organic agave, electrolytes, B vitamins, and natural caffeine. Plus, it's NSF certified for sport. Just clean energy to keep you locked in without the crash or synthetic junk. So go grab yourself the limited edition Lakers can and rep the team in style. Pro Baller Energy, champions choose clean energy.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show, now mornings 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
Yeah, Darth Maul was cheated. Darth Maul should be at the center of the galaxy right now with that double lightsaber.
Has there ever been music? Travis and DeMarco Show, Andy Kamenetsky in for Travis 710 ESPN. Has there ever been music that did not match like the locale and vibe of a bar more than this music in the cantina?
No.
Because
whatever they were drinking, I want it. Yeah.
Mos Eisley is a rough place. Like when that he
doesn't like you.
We see in Mos Eisley, just in the course of like 10 minutes.
Yes.
One guy get his arm chopped off. Another guy get killed. Nobody cares.
Nope.
Nobody cares at all.
Yep.
Like that's just a Tuesday at Mos Eisley.
I don't like you either.
But in the meantime,
there we go.
You got
Yes.
these like happy little Muppets
Keep
playing
playing
saxophone.
I love it. By the way, I was looking at the NBA coverage, and Stephen A. Smith is on TV with a nice pink suit on.
Yes.
Stephen A. has some fits, doesn't he?
Stephen A. is not buying off the rack.
Not at all. Yeah, he doesn't go into the store. They come to him. But I got to give a shout-out to George Sedano. He looked great on TV when I saw him interviewing the Thunder post-game.
Well, okay, you would know more about this because you've worked directly with networks and stuff like that. Do you think George gets fitted? Like they have people helping George out?
I'm sure there's somebody helping George, but George seems like he has a good eye for what looks good on him.
Absolutely. I'm just wondering how much of this is provided for George versus George telling him this is what I'm going to work with.
Part of the NBA is like fashion and how it fits, so they're not going to let you go on there looking like a slob.
Hey, Wendy's on there right now.
Wendy looks good.
Suit.
Wendy stepped his game up too. Yeah, way to go.
Wendy talks all the time on the Hoop Collective podcast. Big product guy for the hair.
Is he really?
His product is a very big, important deal to Wendy.
You mean his hair's not real?
No, his hair's real.
His hair and his face are the same age.
The hair is real. It is not a manufactured hair, but there's some manufactured product.
I like
in
Wendy.
said hair.
Wendy bounced back nicely. Or is that a word? Nicely?
Yeah.
Smoothly.
Yes.
Bounced back from the LeBron little takedown on the McAfee show.
I mean,
yes.
it's fine. It's fine. Wendy does a good job.
He does.
I wouldn't even be surprised if LeBron wouldn't want that one back. Wouldn't mind a do-over on
Or
that
like,
one.
hey, look, man, I'm about to take a shot at you. Don't take it personally.
Right,
Yeah.
or just whatever.
I'm doing it for
like,
this. Right.
I wonder if LeBron, a bit afterwards, like, yeah, that probably wasn't necessary.
Send him a case of wine. He's fine. Yep, there you go. Couple steaks.
Couple Lobos bottles.
There you
He'll
go.
be fine.
Head to this restaurant. I got it. Yep.
So Ken Rosenthal over at The Athletic, ahead of today's Freeway Series, Angels-Dodgers, has a big expose about all the different ways that the Angels did not capitalize on their time with Otani, whether you're talking about Otani on the field and not putting the pieces around him,
that's obvious,
and Mike Trout for that matter, to get themselves into, forget championship races, just the playoffs on a regular basis. Like, they didn't do nearly enough, but also they just didn't market Otani. Like, they did not capitalize on the presence of a global marketing athlete possibility.
Okay, so that's a good question. It goes into Luka and the the Laker laundry. So Luka and the Lakers together equal jersey sales.
Absolutely.
Does Otani sell the stuff, or is he tapping into the Dodger fan base, which is infinitely larger than the Angel fan base?
Otani was a global superstar when he arrived with the Angels. The Angels can be easy to forget because everything gets overshadowed by the Dodgers, but the Angels are still in L.A. Like, this is, they put they put Los Angeles in the
Aren't
title
we in
for
LA?
a reason.
Aren't we in LA right now?
For example, as like an example of this, is that Adam Burke, the president of the LA Tourism Board, told The Athletic that 80 to 90% of all visitors from Japan specifically went to see a Dodger game and will see a Dodger game. On the other side, the Angels ranked 6th in paid home attendance in Otani's rookie season, but they dropped to 13th in 2022 and 2023 in Otani's last 2 seasons. So they weren't capitalizing on Japanese fans coming and visiting Los Angeles because they're going to anyway. Japanese people are going to visit LA anyway. They're not going to see Otani in Anaheim. They will see him in LA.
That's crazy. Like, why wouldn't you go down there if you're Japanese? He's right there.
I think it is in part because the Angels weren't a very fun team to watch to begin with. Like, it's not necessarily that exciting other than what you were going to see in Otani. If you were staying in LA proper, there is the commute consideration. Do you want to drive all the way down there?
Yeah.
But it's also the Angels never really leveraged and leaned into Otani's presence and really tried to tap into that market. Like, the idea of, we have a Japanese superstar, Japanese tourism. You should come see this guy, this icon in your country. He's here. Come see him.
Yeah.
In the way, like, the Dodgers have leaned hard into this.
That's the one question I do have is, like, did the Dodgers do something differently?
Yes. This is just my read on this. I do not know this for a fact, but these are things that I think lay out
besides
logically.
the fact, hey, Japan, we have Otani, which is what the Angels did.
I think
you just didn't go there.
I think the Dodgers are better at this stuff. They were more aggressive with it. They were more expansively thinking about it. But I also think, too, the Angels spent so much time, it always felt like, with Otani, just leaving him alone. Like, they felt like Otani wants to be left alone. He wants to play baseball, and then he wants to be left alone. He doesn't.
It's kind of their MO, isn't it?
He doesn't want to talk to anybody. He doesn't want to do press. He doesn't want to do anything other than just play basketball. Play baseball and maintain privacy.
The Mike Trout bubble,
right?
Yeah.
And we are going to honor that.
We're good at that,
even to the point where we are cutting off our own opportunities because we want to make him happy. In retrospect, I think it's become clear. A lot of that was manipulated by Ippei for his
to keep him isolated.
To keep him isolated, so fewer people are noticing, hey, what's Ippei doing?
Dang.
In addition, so the Dodgers got Yamamoto.
1,000%.
You giving Tony Soprano more bodies, huh? Yeah.
you added Yamamoto and Sasaki in subsequent years to add around Otani, which again the Angels probably wouldn't have done because of Ippei. Because if they had 2 other Japanese players on the team, they might have had another interpreter there to do it.
Another interpreter there, or like another set of eyes watching the way Ippei's handling everything with Otani and going, okay, this is fishy. Like, this is weird. Somebody needs to look into this. Like, this is very, very strange.
Dude, you be going to the bottom of the ocean with these. I love these. Go ahead. But this is good.
I mean, it's obvious that in retrospect, especially considering how much Otani has come out of his shell, seemingly as a Dodger, and seemingly enjoyed it. Like, it has not felt like Otani has been more in the spotlight kicking and screaming.
I knew he was different when he told us the name of his dog.
Right. Yeah. It's felt like he has enjoyed this in ways that I think Ippei was getting it. I don't know if Otani is naturally the most bubbly, gregarious person. Like Yamamoto, for example. He's got a much more outward personality. He was apparently like that in Japan. Like, he really likes being a celebrity. I don't know if Otani is like that, But I also think the way we thought about Otani, so much of that was Ipe manipulating this, maybe even telling him, like, hey, you want to be insulated. You don't exactly know what's going on. Let me handle stuff.
Hell of a theory, yeah.
I think it's obvious.
Hell of a theory. I mean, I would blame it on, maybe Otani starting out in the majors. Maybe it was nice to be in the bubble where I don't want to be a part of that. I mean, Ipe, I'm sure, is in his ear, but maybe Otani's just like, I don't want to be a part of the fanfare right now. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. And the Angels not wanting to just be that team right now. They're the anti-Dodgers when you think about it.
All teams want to make money.
Of course.
The Angels are anti-money?
No, but I'm sure they made money with Otani. They just didn't make as much as the Dodgers.
Not as much as they could have.
But they made money with him.
I am guessing, other than maybe they just did not think expansively enough about this, like they just didn't even bother really trying to tap into all the possibilities. It feels, if you're going to really tap into this stuff the way the Dodgers have with Otani, it's not just about talking with Japanese businesses and stuff like that.
No.
You have to have Otani leaning into this to some degree. Like he has to be cool with being leveraged this way.
Yeah, that's part of being a Dodger.
And
You're going to have to understand
the Angels,
that. Yeah.
from the beginning, were like, the key to keeping Otani happy is to leave him alone. Like, they went so far out of their way to never involve him with anything, never put him in front of anybody.
I'm with you. That may have been what he wanted at the time, and now he's ready for the big time.
Yeah.
Let me switch up, go to the Dodgers. Question for you, basketball related, same thing. Kobe Bryant, one of the best talents, biggest stars in Los Angeles, right?
Oh,
yeah. Is he still Mamba if he played for the Clippers? Seriously. Would he still be Mamba?
There were a couple times.
Same guy, same career.
There were a couple times Kobe was looking to put that to the test.
Right. But if he played his entire career for the Clippers, same production, same point total, same.
Nope.
Different, right?
No, he's not, because the Lakers are one of the iconic franchises in the world, much less basketball.
Like the Dodgers, right.
The Lakers were in a better position on a bunch of different levels to give Kobe the opportunity to win championships. There's only so much you
synergy.
There's only so much you can call yourself the Mamba and do that type of marketing and promotion.
Mamba in a Clippers jersey.
Well,
Mamba in a Lakers. Okay, now we got something.
Mamba in a Clippers jersey also doesn't work if you're not winning. If you're
exactly
not winning championships.
True.
If Kobe, let's say he goes not from the Lakers to the Clippers, but let's just say he goes Charlotte to another, Charlotte originally drafted him for the Lakers, but let's just say they kept him.
Different thing.
Different teams.
But this is just LA related. Same with Luka, okay, in Dallas. If Nico Harrison was never born and Luka stayed in Dallas his entire career, do you think he'd ever have the number one selling jersey in the NBA? Same guy, same everything.
It becomes harder.
Right. You come here, boom. So that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's the brand, it's Otani, it's everything.
But it's also the willingness, if you are the team, to do something with it.
To know what to do with it.
Right. The Angels, whether they didn't know what to do with it, they were afraid to approach Otani about doing it, whatever. They had this thing in front of them that they very inexplicably just decided, we're not going to do anything with it.
Not as much as they're going to do.
We're not going to leverage this to the hilt in the way the Dodgers have said, we are going to maximize this. And part of the reason they're doing this is that's how you get away with deferred pay. That's how you get away with the payroll that
the Ponzi scheme. See,
Ponzi
that was
scheme.
you and these conspiracies.
I still want to see their books. I still want
Ponzi
to see
scheme, and now it's Ipe.
I want to. Well, no, the Ipe thing I know I'm right about. I've seen enough of the Fed investigations. Ipe was manipulating the crap out of Otani.
He's a Svengali. Is that what he said? Svengali.
He was manipulating Otani.
You think? You know what? I mean, it's easy to do because when a dude is that good and in that sport where you have to be so locked in, you just trust the guy and just go on and do your business. It's easy.
100% manipulating.
Oh, no doubt.
Ipe. Last night, the Nuggets push the Western Conference semifinals between them and the Thunder to a Game 7. And the game would not have gone the same way, I think, in a specific way, had Michael Malone still been coaching. And it reminds me a little bit of what happened with the Lakers in the first round. Explain that coming up next. Travis and DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it.
Yeah, tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Parents, did you know that the Children's Hospital Jackie and Gene Autry Orthopedic Center is ranked #1 in California for treating kids with bone and muscle problems? They're the top choice from everything from scoliosis to sports injuries. What makes them stand out? They use super safe imaging with up to 98% less radiation than regular x-rays. Plus, their expert care means kids usually go home sooner and have fewer complications after surgery. At CHLA, they're helping kids get back to being kids, faster and safer.
Is it time to downsize? Selling your home doesn't have to be a hassle. With Seller's Advantage, skip agents, commissions, and costly repairs. Get a fair, competitive cash offer without worrying about the details falling through. Chris Chavez, a real customer, says, quote, Seller's Advantage offered me more than I expected. The process was fast, easy, and much better than using a realtor. End quote. Call 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Hey, Southern California, I'm Ty Pennington, the home guy, teaming up with Pechanga Resort Casino to give away a brand new house. Imagine yourself in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home in incredible Temecula, California. All you need to do is play your favorite slots or table games at Pechanga Resort Casino. The more you play, the more entries you earn. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for complete details on Home Sweet Win.
Rules and conditions apply. Go to Pechanga.com for more details.
Hey, John Ireland here for Thrive Cybersecurity. We all know in sports that defense wins games and turnovers kill you. That's also true in business. The truth is 1/3 of businesses will unwittingly turn over their sensitive company data to thieves this year. Don't let that happen to you. Remember this website, thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. Thrive starts with a comprehensive cyber risk assessment. Their security analysts identify gaps and deliver proactive solutions to help keep your network healthy and protected. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Get ready. Visit thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. Play defense, use Thrive, and protect your business.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Two 704-213.
NBA playoffs, the draft, free agency, the offseason, every moment of what the purple and gold will do during the biggest offseason in history. We've got your dose of what's next for the Lakers. Thanks to Pro Baller, the official energy drink of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Pro Baller?
Pro Baller.
That took some thinking, didn't it?
Easy.
What are we going to call it? Pro Baller.
Pro Baller.
How much did we pay for that?
Easy. They're listening
I'm
right
kidding.
now.
I'm kidding. Come on.
All right, so last night, the Denver Nuggets push OKC to a Game 7. This series has been so much fun. I don't want this series to end.
You know, I mean, okay, so I kind of not hate the Nuggets, but they've been kind of a Laker thorn in their side for a while. Jokic is great. I enjoy watching him. That's like a throwback to the old bigs that we kind of came up with. And I'm learning to love OKC because of how young they are and how much fun they are to watch.
The Thunder are such a fun team to
they
watch
are.
play.
You can root for them.
And down the stretch of that game last night, and ultimately the Nuggets won it pretty securely, 119-107.
It wasn't even that close. Well, I guess. I mean, the Thunder wouldn't go away.
I was going to say, down the stretch, largely because of Alex Caruso, but other guys as well, they kept pressuring Denver into these turnovers that didn't make the game interesting in a way that you thought Denver might blow it, but made it more interesting down the stretch than it otherwise had any right to
You're going
be.
to play this all the way out. Yeah,
right. And that is one of the things that is
I respect that.
Fun about the Thunder, but unique about them. Like, they have so many different defensive pressure points where they can just F up what you're doing offensively.
Do you think the Nuggets can take them in Game 7 in OKC?
I think it is possible.
Because I don't think you broke OKC.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
You extended the series.
I do not think you broke them. You know, obviously, as much as OKC wants to close this thing out, the game clearly is more desperate for Denver because it's win or go home.
So here's how I thought, right? If the Nuggets lose Game 7, and they could, it's OKC, it's on Saturday, right?
Sunday.
Sunday. Favors the younger team, and like you said, them not going away, making them play the entire 4 quarters to beat them, even in a blowout, says a lot to me. So even if the Nuggets go down in Game 7, I still think they won. They really did. Extending this series to 7 games is a victory for them.
Yeah, it's a Sunday game, 12:30 tip, and it'll be really interesting to see if Aaron Gordon's hamstring that was really bothering him down the stretch of this game.
Yeah,
like they said, they don't know.
You can tell.
Yeah, they said they don't know exactly what it's going to be. They're happy that they at least are not playing until Sunday, as opposed to like you originally thought on Saturday. The hero of the game, though, or one of the heroes, Julian Strother.
Yeah, out of nowhere.
I was going to say, a lot of people watching this game
Who
were
had
probably
that?
Like, who the hell is Julian Strother? He is a rookie, or not, he's a second-year player, I believe, for Denver.
He's a little used guy, yes.
He has been in and out of the rotation this year. He's one of many of the young guys on Denver, the inexperienced guys that Calvin Booth, the former GM, wanted Michael Malone to play. Michael Malone never trusted any of those guys. Denver ended up, as a franchise, solving the problem by getting rid of both of them. But
okay.
Julian Strother
Dr.
last
Ben
night.
Casey just cut the whole thing out.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. We're going to split the baby.
Just cut the whole thing out.
Split the baby and put one half completely on this side.
It was
one half
just a
completely
finger.
on
You have to cut the whole arm off.
Exactly. But Julian Strother ends up with 15 points off the bench. Huge energy change in this game.
Microwave.
And as I'm watching this game, it kind of dawned on me that this moment might not have happened were Michael Malone still coaching the team, because I don't know if Michael Malone would have pressed that button with Julian Strother in a must-win or you're being eliminated game. Like, Strother's been playing a little bit in this series, but not a ton. And Michael Malone made it very clear over the course of the season, I trust my starting 5, I trust Russ, and, you know, from there, fungible. Sometimes I trust Peyton Watson. Sometimes
you may not even, if you didn't fire him, you may have not gotten to the semis.
Exactly.
Or even Game 6 of this series.
This game last night potentially goes very different, potentially, with Michael Malone still coaching, because I don't know if Michael Malone presses that button, because I don't think he would have had the faith in Julian Strother. I actually reached out to somebody that I know who covers Denver and asked, like, what do you think? He's like, probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
And it reminded me a bit of the Lakers in the first round and the way JJ Redick so very dramatically and loudly lost faith in everybody other than the starting 5.
Is that when he kept the same 5 for the second half?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way. JJ and I know LeBron recently.
4?
It was Game 4.
Game 4. Yeah.
JJ and LeBron on a recent Mind the Game, like, they can talk about how the other players didn't read too negatively into this. He said that he talked with Vando and Vincent and Jordan Goodwin, and that they understood. But you know how those guys feel about
That
it.
sounds like smoke. Yeah.
You know how they feel about it. Like,
Well, it's embarrassing. I mean, it is. I mean,
yes.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. And why aren't you playing? You have to answer those questions with your friends and family. Why didn't they play you? And you have to have an honest answer.
Why did JJ prefer heading into a fourth quarter up 10, making a decision so extreme? No other coach has tried this in a playoff game in the play-by-play era. Nobody else has done this.
Either he was pouting or he was mad. I don't know. He's still learning as a coach, but for whatever reason, you definitely should not do that.
Right.
Yeah, you should not have to do that or be able to do that. I think you had depth. What happened with JJ and these guys? How do you lose faith in guys all of a sudden?
I think this was one of those moments where, and this is something I think JJ is going to have to work on as an NBA coach in general. Like, JJ's obviously, he's a very smart guy, hyper competitive. He does the research.
He's young too. Yeah.
Young, I think JJ has a lot of makings of a very good coach.
Right.
He can be an emotional guy though.
Learning moment. Yeah.
And I think the idea of removing some of your emotion from the way you go about coaching, because it's one thing to play all those guys the entire second half. But when you take that on top of the fluctuating minutes that everybody off the bench had anyway, on top of Jackson Hayes going from a guy playing really well to barely used to DNP
What happened
in Game
there?
5.
What happened there?
I think it was a combination of Rudy Gobert's presence made it, in some ways, harder to have a lob threat there because he's around the basket as much. I think Jackson...
At least give him an opportunity.
Sure. Jackson fell into a lot of bad habits defensively, picking up fouls. His decision-making wasn't great. There was I think that the offense also kind of clogging up. You weren't utilizing Jackson in the same way that they had been. They fell into a lot of iso ball habits. Obviously Luka being sick in one of the games, getting hurt, LeBron, his injury, like all these different stuff fell into it. But like the Dalton
that one
Connect,
made me mad.
The Dalton Connect button, for example, that could have been pressed. The Dalton Connect button, like
to do what?
Try to get some scoring. I'm not even saying JJ should have. I want to make it clear. I'm not saying he should have.
Why don't you trot out Alex Lynn while you're at it?
But my point is, at some point you have to be willing to press a button
Something
you're uncomfortable with.
I mean, I think that's what he did, and this is what he's telling you. These are the only guys that actually I trust right here.
But you can't win a series that way, much less multiple series.
That's what I took from that message. Is that's what he's telling us. I can't win the series with this.
But you still have to try, though.
I'm with you, and I think either one of those levers you pulled would have been the wrong one. I think you were overmatched against Minnesota.
They were definitely overmatched against Minnesota. Minnesota was the better team. I'm not saying that JJ's coaching cost them the series.
No. Yeah.
But what I am saying is there comes a point where it's one thing to shorten your bench dramatically the way you do. It's another thing to essentially bench your starting center when you have no other centers. It's another thing to say, I won't give our all-offense rookie an opportunity when our offense is struggling. When you won't do any of it, that's when you're giving yourself too few options.
Oh, I totally with you. This is the wrong way to go about
you have
showing people that you don't have enough.
You have to be willing to do something outside your comfort zone, something that you may not believe will work or that you feel like you can totally control.
I agree.
Whatever.
I think he did exactly what he thought was right in the moment, and I think if he had to do it all over again, he'd do what you said.
Right. And again, I think JJ is going to be a really good coach. This isn't about buyer's remorse.
No, not at all.
It's hard to coach in the playoffs.
But it is. Watching last night and watching what's going on in the East, coaching does matter at this point in the season. I mean, coaching matters in the postseason. Yeah. And I think, like I said, if JJ could do all this over again, I bet he would do it differently, especially Game 4.
And by the way,
and probably get the same result, he would just do it different.
And even if JJ would not
this group,
even if he wouldn't openly admit now that he made a mistake or would do things differently, and JJ caught some heat for basically seeming defiant about it. Publicly, it doesn't matter what he projects. What matters is, would he actually learn from it? If he actually learns from it, I don't really care what he says publicly.
I would be shocked if JJ Redick didn't learn from every single moment of this season.
I would be really surprised too.
I'd be surprised if he came back and did the same stuff or doubled down on it.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised. Yeah.
So would I. And ultimately, that's what you want as a Laker fan and the franchise. Just, does he learn from these mistakes? Mistakes that most coaches make their first time in the playoffs, much less a rookie coach.
And I would help him if I was Rob Pelinka and make sure you get him some veteran help.
Yep.
Yeah, especially at the key areas. And the other thing is, and this is why it's almost, I wouldn't say it's a no-win, but it's tougher for him because you still have to depend on Luka getting more serious about the things that, how do I say this? Because people think we're picking on Luka, and that's not what we're saying. You have to depend on Luka getting in better shape. And that's out of your control.
No,
right.
The onus is on Luka to maintain that conditioning and that professionalism. That's one of the reasons that you become a max player. It's because you can be relied on.
And as a young coach that's still learning, I would hate to be in that situation.
Well, this is what JJ signed up for. All right, coming up next, going to do a little snake draft. The category is things we would want named after us. So that is what we are going to be drafting. That is next on the Travis and DeMarco Show, 710 ESPN.
Have you ever had to deal with chafing? I know you have an AK. Your legs don't rub together when you walk. For a lot of people, they do. Like me. Anyway, whether it was back in the playing days, I know. He's like, what are you talking about? Right now or on my morning walks, chafing is no joke. That's why I always keep Highlands Chafing Relief on deck. Have your legs ever rubbed together when you were running?
Yeah.
Really? Did you trip or like on purpose?
I just
stop talking. You're too small.
It
Anyway, it does happen. Look, Highlands Chafing Relief has been a game changer for me. Goes on like a cream, dries like a powder, stays put even through sweat and water. No greasy mess, just all-day protection. If you've already got some chafing down there, you're not alone. Highlands Chafing Relief soothes it fast with aloe, shea butter, and tea tree oil. Oh, that sounds so good. So whether you're running, riding, hiking, or just dealing with the heat, Highlands Chafing Relief has your back and your thighs and your arms and your upper chest area. You get the idea. You shouldn't have to stop doing what you love just because of chafing. AK, talking to you. Trust me, go grab some Highlands Chafing Relief right now and feel the difference. Available today at Walmart and Target.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale. Check this out. Lease a new 2025 Subaru Crosstrek Sport CVT for just $299 a month plus. Eagles.
Snake draft. It's Friday. It's 9:45-ish, which means that we're going to do a snake draft on various things. And this morning when I was doing my prep for the show, I saw a story where A San Antonio city councilman wanted to rename the San Antonio airport after Greg Popovich because he's done so much for the community. He's a pillar of the community, etc. So got me thinking about things that we would want to be named after us.
Ooh.
Do we want an airport, etc.? So our order for our draft is going to be Jorge, Andy, DeMarco, Emily. 3 each, 12 total. That's all that can fit on the graphic, right, Parker? Thanks.
Sí.
So... Jorge, you're up first. What is the thing that you want to be named after you?
Oh man, so I've worked with a ton, like different ones in my previous job. I'm talking about cameras. You guys have heard of the Ari Alexa. You guys have heard of Canon AS, Sony AF100 or whatever, just cameras. So I would like Red has a dragon. I would like a Jorge camera.
Give me the Jorge.
With the Jorge.
Give me the Jorge.
Shooting with a Jorge.
Shoot with the Jorge.
I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Give me the Jorge.
Yeah, I want a camera after me.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to take what might be the most obvious, but I think it's the most obvious because people really love when this happens for them.
Yeah.
I want a sandwich named after me.
Ooh, nice.
Sandwich feels in a lot of ways like you have arrived.
What would be in an AK?
I'd have to think about this because I'm. This is my sandwich, man.
I know. What would be in an AK? Egg?
No.
Ham?
Maybe ham. Definitely not egg.
Turkey?
Turkey is a real possibility.
Cheese?
Cheese,
What kind of bread?
This is definitely a lunch sandwich,
Yeah,
correct?
It's a lunch sandwich.
Hash browns?
I would probably want a sourdough. I'd probably want a
There you
sourdough.
go.
I like the outer crust.
Well, you're a sour dude.
Yeah. So sandwich. I'm
So
going
sauerkraut. Okay.
Sauerkraut.
Kind of a sour dude.
DeMarco, what's your pick?
Jorge, I'm with you. I would have said
Yeah.
like a piece of film, like the Zapruder film. Like there's a famous shot that Jorge shot. That I would have gone there. For me, forgive me, parents and people I know, but I think this is so cool, and this would be awesome. A celebrity weed strain.
That's on my list.
That's on your
That
list?
is on
Yeah.
my list.
There you go. Tommy Chong has some. Mike Tyson has one. Willie Nelson,
Give me
Method
the
Man.
far.
Why
Ice
not?
Cube.
Yeah.
Ice Cube has one.
Makes you hungry.
Yep.
You eat ice cream.
And then you can go get one of my sandwiches.
Yeah. Law-abiding, ice cream watching TV guy. There you go.
That is lovely. And then whenever they take their far edible, they're
There you
like,
go.
thanks, DeMarco.
And you go home
That's
and you
where
eat
you
ice
go to the
cream.
far side.
Right there.
That's
see?
how you go to the far side.
You lock in
Good
on
name.
everything.
I get
do-
10%.
I do know that we have people that own weed stores that listens to us. So
Yes.
maybe talk to DeMarco about some sort of
Do you
collab.
know there's a
Shout
Barack
out, Chris.
Obama weed strain?
What?
There's a Barack Obama weed strain.
Of course there is.
Oh my God. Okay.
Good
Sorry.
for him. Okay, so I have two.
I don't know if he's officially involved, but it exists.
Okay, so my first one is one that I think is very cool because, you go to a bar and you have these classic names of these things. So drinks. I want a drink named after me.
Ooh,
so
also
give me
on
the
the list.
Hebel because it's like, Tom Collins, a Shirley Temple. I'm sure there's a million of them out there, but give me a Hebel and they'll run with that. So then I also, in the same vein of what you had, Andy, not just a sandwich, but I want a combo. Give me the Hebel combo. Give me. So when you go to the Alamo Draft House, you get a chicken tenders with ranch on the side and a Diet Coke. That's the Hebel combo when you go to Alamo Draft House. So give me the
Nice.
Hebel combo. So I have drink and a combo. DeMarco, your second pick.
Oh, okay. So I always liked this, and I was never good enough to get one, or violent enough to get one, or whatever. I would love a sports rule named after me. Like there's an Emmitt Smith rule, there's the Gretzky rule, the Lou Alcindor rule is what I'm looking for.
Jordan rule.
Where you're so good, they outlaw the dunk. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I would love a rule named after the DeMarco Farr rule. Mine would be, I guess my award would be the guy that's gets caught for being offsides the most in one season. That would be me. The DeMarco Farr Award, yes.
That's funny.
Love an award named after me. Or a rule named after me.
Rule
Yes.
named after you.
All right, Andy, your second pick.
I would want a movie studio with my name in it. Disney Studios, obviously. MGM is partially Louis B. Mayer, Samuel Goldwyn, way back in the day. So either the Kamenetsky Studio, the AK Studio, something that...
AK is a good one.
AK Studios.
Something that denotes my name and as somebody who loves movies, loves Hollywood history.
Yeah.
It would be awesome to be a part of that.
I know
I hope
that-
you have a Miramax type flavor to you, like crazy out of the.
Not with what became.
I mean, not that part of it. I'm talking about what the movies were.
But-
yeah.
But yes, Miramax is another one.
Thank you.
With
Yes.
what Miramax turned into, whatever, but it's named after
His parents.
His parents.
The Weinstein parents.
Yeah. Oh, okay. There. But I like when it said Miramax. You know what you're getting.
Miramax, the content was phenomenal.
Blood and guts
The
and
film
sexy.
staple
Yes.
was phenomenal.
You can just rip off A24, AK, and then you just
Yes.
do the K coming
There
in
you go.
instead of the 24 coming in.
Just in parentheses, very small.
Okay.
Roar Studios.
Or you have two. Well, no, actually, you mimic the MGM lion, the roars. Sorry, or you too.
A tequila. You gotta. I want a tequila named after me. You know, the JB or Briones tequila, something like that. And why not a motorcycle? You know, a motorcycle named after me.
Oh wow, yeah.
My man. Can you imagine that? Oh,
driving a Briones.
Briones, yeah, exactly.
Is there anything besides a Harley that's named after a person?
Is
I'm just curious.
Is Ducati? Is that named after a person?
It's gotta be last name, right? Like
Well, I know Ferrari is
Ferrari.
named after like the
Yeah.
Ferrari family.
Well, the Suzuki's. That's another one. Is that-
Suzuki.
No,
I'm
those
sure
are
that's
last names.
somebody's name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andy, third pick.
I'm actually trying to figure out
Yamaha
who,
too, then.
Trying to figure out
Yeah.
who the Ducati, if there was a Ducati fellow out there. This one is a little bit random, but it kind of speaks to me. I would love to have an aquarium named after me because I love going to aquariums. It's one of my favorite things. I love aquatic life. Like there was a brief period in high school where I was thinking about going into marine biology. I actually applied to University of Miami and got in, and the only reason I really wanted to go there is their marine biology department is one of the best in the world.
What's your favorite kind of animal to see at the aquarium?
I can watch fish, like just fish all day. I think they're really pretty. I think they're interesting. I love the way they interact with each other. Like every time I ever go to Mexico, I end up doing snorkeling and scubaing just because I love time spent with aquatic life as much as I can be immersed as possible. And also sometimes aquariums, it feels like one of those things that you do for the city. Like it helps. You know, it helps bring culture to the city. So
I was asking because you could have the Kamenetsky wing, and it happens to have the sea otters or the sharks or
I want
like
the whole
whatever.
thing named after me.
Penguins.
Okay.
Do penguins.
Oh, I love penguins.
Do the penguins.
Love penguins.
Do the penguins. That's a good one.
All right, DeMarco, your last pick.
Okay, so I was gonna go with like a sports award, but that's kind of boring. I like that though. The Jordan Trophy, Jerry West Trophy, Havlicek Trophy, all that. That's fun.
Larry O'Brien.
Yeah, Larry O.B. That's fun. I want a move, some sort of choke named after me. Like, have you heard like the Kimura?
No.
In MMA?
I don't follow MMA.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually named after a person. I thought it was just the name of the move. There's a Darce choke. That's named after a guy. The Von Flute choke is named after a guy. Yes.
Von Flute.
The DeMarco Farr. I want that to be a choke. I don't know how
Is it especially violent?
Not really. It might be like 2 fingers up your nostrils, you know, that sort of choke, and I pinch your lips together.
Extremely gross.
Right, just hold you right there, until you submit.
Update. Per Wikipedia, in 1926, Antonio Ducati and his 3 sons, Adriano, Marcello, and Bruno Ducati, founded essentially the Ducati company that turned into the Ducati motorcycle.
They are so
Silenzio
loud.
Bruno.
Aren't you?
Don't talk about Bruno.
Have you ever ridden the Ducati?
No.
They're
Not
so
a Ducati.
loud. Really loud.
I mean, I started in an R1, the
Yeah.
Yamaha. Yeah, that's one of the bikes I rode, an R1, a CBR 600, a Honda one, and then I jumped into a Harley.
I get Harleys that are loud, but Ducatis don't look like they should be that
but
loud.
the Harley, you can customize it to
make
be
it louder
than what it is. Yeah.
And I hate when they do that when they go by. I hate that.
I mean, that's exactly for that, so they can. Hey,
bro, when you
I'm
do
next
that
to
to me, it's Mad Max time. It's on.
Okay, I have one more, and that's the end of our draft. I'm going to go with one that will specifically make the people that's going to be at this place mad because my name is so annoying, and I also don't even want to do anything cool to get this, so that when people look it up later, it's like, why is this named after this? They're like, oh, she did nothing. Just an elementary school. I want an elementary school named after me to have one. I went to Hebel Elementary or Emily Hebel Elementary. My
Do
dad.
you want it to be in Virginia?
Yeah, it would be nice, or like have my sister or my dad teach at the school. Would be nice. Like, oh, Mr. Hebel at Emily Hebel Elementary.
Oh, you need to come up with your mascot though, because every school needs a mascot.
That would be interesting. I'd have to think about that.
The
I'm
Hebel
sure.
arguers.
I'm sure the people listening have.
What would that look
the
like?
debaters have opinions about what my mascot would be for the Emily Hebel Elementary School.
It's Emily just pointing.
It's like this.
That's sweet though. I like that.
Yeah, My dad taught at Krista McAuliffe Elementary School, and
cool.
so I always grew up like, oh, who's Krista McAuliffe? So it's kind of a cool thing to learn. So that's our draft.
There you
Good
go.
draft. If we
What high
miss
school
anything,
did you go to? What high school did you go to?
Country Day.
Country Day. Okay. Kennedy, named after Kennedy.
Yes.
What high school did you go to?
Nogales High.
Named after?
It's a street.
Street.
Nogales
Okay.
High.
All right. Interesting.
mine was just Cortland.
Named
Cortland,
after the
okay.
cactuses?
Huh?
Named after the cactuses?
Nopales.
But if we missed anything, give us a call, 877-710-3776, or tweet at us, what would we want to be named after?
So quickly, Michael Thompson gave me a bottle of rum once, and it has my initials on it. So to this day, I just saved the bottle just to have it. The first time I got it, I told my parents, like, hey, I'm investing in this company, for rum. You guys have my initials?
No,
Like,
you
are
didn't.
Are you really? So my dad was like, yo, you got to get me in that, But I was like, it's a joke,
That's
Dad.
cruel, man.
So you could have run a scam on your family.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
could.
Like you could have just milked your family for their money.
You should have went full Ipe.
Right now.
All right, coming up next, flag football. It is hitting the Olympics, but is it also hitting the NFL? Talk about that. Travis and DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a good karma brands radio station.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN. Cap here. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt. With years of experience and a passion for helping people, if you've got water damage at home, call Avner Gatt today. 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. That's 818-917-5256. Avner Gatt. Your claim, our game.
Hey, it's Mace, and there's no better place to watch sports than Cosm. The Cosm Dome has got massive high-resolution display. It creates the ultimate immersive experience with a massive wraparound screen that throws you in the middle of the action. The Cosm Hall features wall-to-wall exciting games. Catch all the heart-pounding excitement of both the NBA and NHL playoffs. Secure your tickets now at Cosm. That's COSM.com and experience the game like never before. Cosm.com.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? With a new owner, fresh renovations, and upgraded amenities, it's a whole new way to experience LA's premier table game casino. From poker, blackjack, ultimate Texas Hold'em, and Baccarat, they've got all the action for ESPN LA listeners. Brand new players who sign up for their Players Reward get $30 in match play. Just say, Cappy sent me to get $30 in match play. Park West Bicycle Casino.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGR-001291. GAR-001292. GAR-001298. BSIS license number 1358.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN.
I want to put my feet in the sand. I want to drink. I want to eat. I want to walk. I want to have the sun on my face. That's it.
Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
The NBA playoffs, the draft, free agency, the offseason, every moment of what the purple and gold on the biggest offseason in history will do. We've got your dose of what's next for the Lakers, thanks to Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers. And before we get to the NFL and the Olympics and flag football, I'm going to hear from Bella in Whittier. She's going to weigh in on things she would want named after.
Good morning.
Hey, Bella.
Good morning, Bella.
Hi. So specifically, I'd want a bar named after me. It'd be Bella's Bar and it'd be a sports bar.
I'm right there with you.
Right there in Whittier?
And then I'd want you, DeMarco, and Travis to come broadcast at the bar.
Oh, you're on. Definitely. Just put us right in front of the TVs
I'll
and
ask
right in front of the bar. We're good.
And it's alliterative, too, which is nice.
And
Bella's Bar.
Angels fan have to pay more.
See, why we got to go there? Come on. We should let them in free. Come on.
No. Well, yeah, that's true. Like, we get free Angel passes because no one goes.
Is it going to have like a divey vibe, or is it more of like a Fridays type thing, like a Hooters? Like what's the vibe?
It's a local dive bar.
Local dive bar.
Sports
Love
only.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you very
That's a good
much.
call.
That is awesome.
Let's
That's
go
a
head
really
down
good
to
call.
Bella's. That's a good name for a bar.
Bella's Bar.
Bella's Bar.
In Whittier.
In Whittier. There we go. I love it.
All right, so NFL team owners, they may be voting next week at league meetings about whether or not to allow NFL players to participate in Olympic flag football in the LA Olympics coming in 2028. Resolution announced Thursday involved several possible guidelines as further negotiations continue between the NFL Players Association, the league, the national governing bodies, and Olympic authorities. The proposed resolution permits players under an NFL contract to try out for a 2028 Olympic flag football team. But this is what's interesting, DeMarco. You limit NFL player participation to no more than one player per NFL team. And in addition, the NFL's team-designated international player can play for his home country.
Okay. I'm trying to think how many countries that would apply to.
Not many.
There's Nigeria. There's some countries. Some Nigeria.
It's probably a random Canadian somewhere in there.
Some Canadians, yes, somewhere in there. So there's not many. I am very patriotic, and this is going to be an Olympic sport, so I damn sure want to win it. Or let me say this, I damn sure don't want to lose it. Can you imagine if we lost flag football in the Olympics to whatever country? Can you imagine that?
You're talking to the wrong guy.
Oh, my God. I'd go like basketball at one point, right? It was our sport, and then everyone else caught up, right?
It's global.
So every time we play basketball in the Olympics, you're invested because we can't lose, right?
Well, I'm invested really because I know the players in the NBA.
Yeah.
That's really the only reason I'm invested.
You're not rooting for the Americans in the Olympics?
I'm not a big Olympics guy.
I'm not going to your bar.
You're not going to order my sandwich?
I'm not going to order your sandwich.
To my aquarium?
Wow.
You're not going to watch movies from my
No,
studio?
come on.
I am not super into the Olympics. I've never been.
Really?
I've always been much more of a leagues sports fan than international play sports fan. Like, there's nothing wrong with the Olympics. It's just, it's never something that I've ever gotten super sucked into.
Oh, okay. Well, I count medals. Olympic track and field, basketball. Sure. I want to dominate those sports because because I'm a patriot.
America.
And we're the only country outside of Canada that's playing football.
That's what I was going to ask you about in terms of the international piece of this, when you talked about how the world, even if you think America is the best country en masse for basketball, and that's probably the truth, the world has caught up to America in basketball in the sense that the rest of the world is not a pushover for America.
Yeah, I think they've closed the gap on basketball, and Jorge, help me out. Has America closed the gap in football, in soccer?
No.
Not even closer.
I don't follow soccer.
Wait, hold on. Closer than it was 20 years ago.
No.
Really?
If America made it to the semifinals of the World Cup, I think I'd fall over in fame.
Are you telling me we haven't made any progress in 20 years?
Some progress. I'm not going to say
okay, there you go. There's some. There's some. Okay, there's a little bit. But I would say this with flag football. So there's not a country in the world outside of Canada, and that would be a walkover. If you took the Eagles against their Grey Cup champion, the Eagles would kill them. But around the world, if you play flag football, that kind of evens it up a little bit. It takes the size, the aggression out of it. It's just a skill game. So if you give the right skill players, some soccer players, and put them on a football field and teach them how to play flag, you got some issues. You got some really fast dudes that are great athletes in the sport. It's going to be tough to stop them. So if it's going to be an Olympic sport, put your best football players on the field. Use the NFL guys.
Who are you picturing as,
Ty Hill.
Okay,
right
Ty
off
Hill.
the top, yes.
Ty Hill.
You're not going to be able to. Ty Hill is the toughest guy in the world to tackle. You're not going to grab his flag.
DK Metcalf.
Metcalf, of course. Go up high and get it. Absolutely. Keep going.
Who would you want as a...
I wouldn't need Puka. That's a different deal. Puka runs into you. I need guys that run away from you.
Even like Prime Cooper Kupp would not have been a great flag football guy. if you're talking about guys who just
Cooper would route you up and piece you up. He'd have a place on a flag field.
He fights through contact more than anything.
But he'd route you up. He can get open and get open. He's not going to break away from you.
That's what I'm thinking of burners.
Justin Jefferson,
right?
Jetters, I would take
big, tall burners.
The thing that made me mad is you can't take teammates, right? Because the first thing I thought was take the Bengals receivers and you'd never lose. Just take those guys and you'd win every one of them. So,
but I mean, I think that's the compromise between, I guess,
Devontae. Absolutely, he'd route you up and go around you.
I guess that's part of the compromise that you're looking to make to involve NFL players without making it look so overtly like we are trying to stack the deck in a sport that we play more than anybody else anyway.
That's why I said use the NFL receivers, professional receivers, and use the professional flag quarterbacks to get you the gold medal. Because if you go out there with Patrick Mahomes, that's unfair. That really is. You'd score literally 200 points.
There is a part of me that feels like, and maybe I'm just making this up in my head and it doesn't really exist, but there's a part of me that feels like there's got to be people out there that have devoted their life to flag football. Like they're the people who actually imagined, oh God, one day maybe they will put flag football in the Olympics. So this thing that I've loved and I put my passion into, despite it not really being a professional sport, this could be my moment. And then all of a sudden, Patrick Mahomes Bigfoots me. I would be so pissed.
Well, I mean, look.
I would be so pissed.
At its core, flag football is football. So if you were really that good, you'd probably be where Mahomes is. So there's a reason you're playing just flag. I'd say that number one.
Sure, but it's still your dream. Like,
of course.
This is your space for the dream.
And some of those guys that grew up having that dream, like I can't wait, I wish this was an Olympic sport. Some of those guys are pros, and they want to do this. But I would say to make it fair, use the receivers and then use their quarterbacks, and you'd still win the gold medal.
Okay, this is interesting. I'm looking right now at the YouTube chat for the Travis and DeMarco show, and SL pointing out a lot of rugby countries out there. How much, if at all, do you think the rugby skill set or the way people do rugby would translate to flag football?
Have you ever watched Rugby Sevens?
No.
Rugby Sevens is one of my favorite sports. It's like rugby played with 7 guys.
Okay.
So it's all breakaways, and it's so much fun. Like think of 80s college football with the wishbone breakaway runs. That's what rugby
so I mean,
sevens.
like countries like England, Ireland, Scotland, where like rugby is huge.
Straight ahead speed, yes, but football is about route running, cutting, planting, dropping your weight, getting out. So they're going to have some of the advantages, like speed-wise, or I wouldn't say advantage. They'll be competitive speed-wise, but the routes and the catching and knowing how to get up and catch passes and defending guys that are running past you, that'll be difficult.
So bottom line, you are looking for America to stack the deck so we can dominate and bring
you
back
put
gold.
it. You made it a sport in the Olympics.
True.
So yes, if it's out there, if it's flag football related, we should get the gold. Not only that, we should decimate.
It's America made it a sport in the Olympics because when you host the Olympics, you get to add some sports that are yours, and it has to be approved. But it doesn't mean that flag football will be in the Olympics going forward. So like you know how breakdancing was at the Paris Olympics.
Oh my God!
It's not going to be going forward, but Paris added it.
Whatever
to their
happened
Olympics
to our girl?
For
What was her name?
Ray Gun.
Ray Gun. Is she in jail? No?
No, she's not in jail.
They didn't put her in jail?
I don't think that she committed fraud by the letter of the law.
Really? Did you see her dance?
She just might not have been very good at what she did.
I think Raygun got way more. I think she got way deeper into this than anything she ever expected. Like it felt like after
bruh,
a
she
while,
wanted to get there. Come on.
No, I think in her head she wanted this, and then she discovered what this was. And it like this much scrutiny, like this much online.
Oh
hate.
no! AK, this was the lady who cheated in the marathon, who rode the subway and cheated.
Right.
Because I heard that she had competed against other breakdancers from Australia, and her husband was on the judging committee.
Right.
Yeah, that's fraud. That's fraud. That's what. Is she in jail yet? Come on, that's terrible.
She is not in jail.
So if you had gone at one point, I know you were considering law school.
Yeah.
You would be prosecuting Raygun.
Oh my God, that's the case I want. That's me. I'd be the Johnny Cochran of sports frauds.
You'd be putting Raygun on trial.
If the head spin don't work, you must be convicted. I don't know. I'll work on the rhyme later.
If the moods are not sick, you must acquit.
There you go.
No, but he's.
You must acquit. I don't know.
You must convict. There you go.
Yeah.
Come on. But
if the girl don't flip, you must convict.
Dude, come on now. That was bad. But if they're going to add that to the Olympics, then yes, the Americans should dominate. Yes. But I really don't believe it. We haven't caught up to soccer yet. Not even close.
No. Soccer does
even
not,
a little bit.
Soccer does not mean to this country what it means to the rest of the world.
We don't have the infrastructure.
Or
for soccer?
Frankly, or the
No, we
interest.
don't.
We don't have patches of grass and a ball?
No. DeMarco, it's the developmental leagues that lead into your professional leagues that have the infrastructure in other countries. They care about it. I'm not talking about infrastructure in terms of like fields and roads. I'm talking about infrastructure about levels of being able to compete. It's not the same as in other countries.
I think that might be some pride on Jorge's little thing there.
As a country,
I don't know. You just like, nope, not even
As a
close.
country, we don't care enough to invest in soccer and develop soccer. We just have not shown the interest in it.
I hope Freddie Adu's listening right now.
Freddie Adu.
I hope he's listening right now.
Coming up, Dan.
Freddie Adu nothing.
Boom! All right, coming up, Freddie Adu. Dan Woike from the LA Times has an interesting newsletter piece about the Lakers and Austin Reaves, what it would take to trade him, and the reasons behind it, one of which I hope the Lakers are not leaning too far into. Explain that coming up next. Travis and DeMarco Show, 710 ESPN.
You guys don't understand aggregate.
LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Big on protein, rich on flavor. The new $10 Islands Restaurant's protein bowls are here for a limited time. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients for the flavors you love. Just in a bowl. Find your protein paradise at islandsrestaurants.com.
Hey, John Ireland here, Laker fans. Meet Pro Baller Energy, the official energy drink of the Lakers. It's a natural, healthier alternative packed with ultra-premium ingredients like organic agave, electrolytes, essential B vitamins, natural caffeine, and it's NSF Sport certified. It fights fatigue, sharpens focus, and supports your immune system so you stay locked in longer without the crash. Grab the limited edition Lakers can and rep the team in style. Pro Baller Energy. Champions choose clean energy.
What's going on? It's Bethel Durant, and if your car is damaged in an accident, or if you just want to get it repaired, or if you just want a paint job, Leo and the crew at Active Collision are there for you. Let them know that 710 sent you, and you get 50% discount on your insurance deductible. Call them at 626-330-0100. That's 626-330-0100, or check them out on Instagram at active.collision. Leo and the crew will walk you through every single detail. Call Leo anytime. They got the tow truck ready for you. Leo is family, and he'll take care of you.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp recently surveyed over 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it's wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. At BetterHelp, they have over 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We're all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
What's on tap today on 710 ESPN? The Freeway Series, that begins tonight. Angels pregame coverage begins at 6 p.m. right after Sedano and Cap. Listen on 710 and on the all-new ESPN LA app. Thanks to Michelob Ultra, a refreshing, balanced flavor. Only 2.6 carbs, only 95 calories. 96, too many. 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, only worth it if you enjoy it. Please enjoy responsibly. Before we get to this report about Austin Reaves, Jason from Downey wants to weigh in on something he'd like named after him. What's up, Jason?
Hey guys. So I would love a weekend to be named after me. You have Masters weekend, Super Bowl weekend, Labor Day weekend. Why not Torres weekend?
A Torres
Preferably
weekend.
with the Monday off.
Yeah?
Preferably with the Monday off. And I do not know what you do on said weekend. It's up to you, but I would love a weekend named after me.
That's pretty
cool. Any particular month that you would want this, Jason?
Let's go April. Nothing really happens in April except Easter.
Nice.
Let's just, replace me with Easter.
Decent weather?
Replace
You can't
Easter.
replace Easter.
See ya,
but
Jesus.
Yeah.
Nothing controversial about that one, Jason.
Decent weather, nice. Looks good outside, depending on where you are. Can I see him and raise him one? I should have thought of this. A music festival.
That's good.
Yeah, so the weekend would be a music festival. Yeah, it'd just be straight up music.
Farfest.
Farfest. It wouldn't be the Fire Fest. It would actually happen.
You want to make sure everyone knows it's not the Fire Fest.
It's the Torres Fest. Throw some music. We're all there. There you go. I like that.
So Dan Wojcicki from the LA Times, everybody should be subscribing to his coverage. He's got a mailbag piece addressing the question of whether or not the Lakers would trade Austin Reaves. That's been a big talking point lately. Lakers media, Bill Simmons recently on his podcast said that he predicts Austin will not only get traded, but will get traded for a haul that will make the Mavericks truly realize they did not get enough for Luka. And Bill Plaschke wrote a piece in the LA Times about now the Lakers may not want to trade Austin, and Bill doesn't even want him to trade Austin, but now is the time you have to trade Austin if you're going to try to improve the team.
Oh, do me a favor. You do Locked On Lakers, right?
5 days a week, everywhere you get your podcast, Monday through Friday, always free, never behind a paywall. And for the sickos who like to watch, there's a YouTube component.
So I know you know this. Give me the exact haul for Luka.
The haul
that the Mavericks got back.
Anthony Davis, Max Christie, 1 first-round pick.
You think Austin Reaves or Bill Simmons thinks someone will give more than that for Austin Reaves?
I don't think he meant it like the haul for Austin would be bigger than Anthony Davis, but the haul for Austin would be big enough to make Dallas realize they could have and should have gotten more.
You should have gotten more for Luka.
Right.
I think everybody knows that.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I do wonder, what do you think Austin Reaves' trade value would be?
Well, this is one of the many things that was interesting that Dan pointed out in his piece. Austin's trade value, I think, both is high but tricky. He's a good player. Like, Austin Reaves is a very good player. Like, whether he is as good as the Lakers ultimately need him to be or have coveted him in a way that they want him to be, project him to be, he's still a very good player. And he's on right now one of the bargain contracts in the NBA. But it's the last year of that deal, presumably, because next season's a player option. Everybody expects him to opt out. And
I thought he did.
No, he's got
somebody else. Okay,
one more before he opts out. He could sign an extension right now.
Maybe that's what I heard. Okay.
But nobody's expecting him to because of the way the cap works, without getting into the weeds. The max the Lakers could sign him to this offseason would be $4.90, essentially. Next offseason, I think you can get into the hundreds. So nobody is expecting Austin to sign a deal this offseason.
And he doesn't have to improve himself to get into that hundreds.
Well,
just stay healthy and do what you've always done.
I think there are limits to how high he could reach, but if he stays on the path he's been on now, I think the expectation is he could get somewhere into the high 20s, low 30s minimum.
I'd wait if I'm him.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody would blame Austin for waiting. Everyone's expecting to, but because of that,
not sure of it.
He's something of a flight risk. He's something of a flight risk in the sense that you could trade for him without any type of security. He could end up going somewhere else. You have to be comfortable with the amount that you're likely going to have to pay him to retain him long-term.
So anybody that trades for him is going to have to sign him long-term.
Right. There's a certain degree of uncertainty, whether for another team, but also the Lakers. He's a flight risk potentially for the Lakers.
Can I ask you a personal question and just be honest?
Sure.
How much on the high end do you think he's going to get paid?
Oh, I thought it was like personal about
I
me.
am. I'm getting there. How much
Okay.
on the high end is he going? What salary is he going to command?
If I had to guess,
Because he's all-star adjacent, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I consider him all-star adjacent. He's never made an all-star team.
Yeah, definitely not a superstar, but all-star
Not
adjacent.
a superstar, but
Okay.
there was a period where he was playing well enough that it sparked that whole third best
Yes,
player.
I think he owned December.
It was more like
November,
February, March.
February. Okay, he owned February.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
So top end money is what?
I think if I had to guess, the top end would be around 40. I don't think he's going to get there, but I think mid-30s.
Pie in the sky is 40.
Mid-30s is a live possibility.
Okay, so top end mid-30s. Here's the personal question: do you think he's worth that?
It's a very interesting question.
Right, based on what we just saw.
A lot. Okay. I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment with this one playoff series.
Said a lot, though.
What
really
I think,
did. Yeah.
What I think is interesting about this series is all of the concerns you would ever have if you were skeptical about Austin came through, like the lack of athleticism, the lack of high-end speed, like the lack of high-end strength, the fact that sometimes as a ball handler and a facilitator, he has struggled against athletic, rangy wings. Like all of the
You
things,
went from an asset to a liability.
Well,
in
yeah,
one series.
In this one series. Now, look, the optimists would say it's potentially a bad matchup. Other guys weren't playing well. There's a trickle-down effect to Austin.
Yeah.
The toe issue.
The roster construction helped expose his flaws.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
It magnified the things you were worried about.
Yeah.
The toe issue, which I don't think is Austin making excuses. I think that thing is real.
Which I would factor into if I was trading. Like, I need this and this if I'm going to have him.
Absolutely. Like, there is a context where you can be glass half full about it.
Mm-hmm.
How much is he worth, I think, is a really tricky area because it's the more money he makes, the harder it becomes to balance your own cap sheet. And
I see that.
Like,
yeah.
once you start getting to that 30 to 40 million range, that's where it really starts becoming tricky with players. Like, is Austin dramatically overpaid in the 30s? Probably not. Is Austin, though, worth taking up that much of your cap in the 30s? That, I think, is a different and more complicated question.
Depends on what else I have. Yeah.
Yes,
and what I'm
exactly.
going to ask him to do, what his role is going to be.
Who you are pairing him up with.
Right.
Like the concerns that Luka and Austin have too many similar concerns, similar weaknesses. Like neither one of them are high-end athletic. Neither one of them are high-end speed. Both of them, you have certain degree of defensive questions.
Mm-hmm.
Them,
certain degree.
Right.
Is 95%? right.
And then you start thinking about, like, they represent a certain amount of money on your cap sheet, but also a certain amount of your core that you have to use X amount of your resources to offset some of their weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, is Austin the most ideal guy to pair with Luka? It's one of the things you have to think about.
It depends on what's behind him and what's protecting the rim. I would run that same roster back with maybe one change, get me a credible big.
Well, that's what they're going to be looking for.
Right, and I would play that series again, and I bet it turns out differently. I think that was the only thing. It just highlighted, really exposed what Luka and AR could not do. But I would say this, one more thing, moving forward. To get that big, I would not say AR is an untradeable asset. There's only two people I'm putting the fence around. One of them's named Luka, and the other is LeBron. Everyone else,
and LeBron has his own fence, by the way.
Big time.
He's got a no trade.
Whether
clause.
I wanted to or not, I can't. So that's a non-starter. Luka would be the only guy I put a fence around.
Absolutely.
Everyone else is expendable.
All right, coming up later, we're going to get into actually more from Dan's piece about how the Lakers value Austin, what it would take to trade him, but also too, a reason that Dan listed that the Lakers would be reluctant to trade Austin. That I think if it's actually playing into their thinking, it is a mistake. So we'll get into that coming up later. But next, Factor Cap, Travis and DeMarco Show, 710 ESPN.
Mason and Ireland, today at noon.
LZ can't even play in your league, and I told him that this morning. I said,
I just told you, no days off.
Greg, who will win that bet? Will Mason take a week off in the fall?
Of course. No. And that's the challenge.
Yeah,
will
if
LZ
that's
work,
where you're going.
Will LZ work every day until the Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
LZ won't even work every day this week.
Hey guys,
He's
it's
off the next 2
Sedano.
days.
In the market for new flooring? Why pay more at big box stores? At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, Every day is a deal, no gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR or visit them online at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale.
Hey, it's Mace, and there's no better place to watch sports than Cosm. The Cosm Dome has got massive high-resolution display. It creates the ultimate immersive experience with a massive wraparound screen that throws you in the middle of the action. The Cosm Hall features wall-to-wall exciting games. Catch all the heart-pounding excitement of both the NBA and NHL playoffs. Secure your tickets now at Cosm. That's COSM.com and experience the game like never before. Cosm.com.
Cap here. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt. With years of experience and a passion for helping people, if you've got water damage at home, call Avner Gatt today. 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. That's 818-917-5256. Avner Gatt. Your claim, our game.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. In the market for new flooring? Why pay more at big box stores? At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, every day is a deal, no gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR or visit them online at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale. Hey guys, it's Sedano. LA, it's time to get real. Jacob and Ronnie, he's the real deal. Call Jacob. He's recovered hundreds of thousands of dollars where other attorneys might settle immediately for pennies. Jacob is not afraid to fight for you. Get a partner who's committed to turning your setback into a comeback. Call him at 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Or visit him online at calljacob.com. Jacob's the real deal.
Call Jacob. Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, good boy.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time to make your yard the best on the block with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Start by keeping the weeds at bay with Earthgrow Mulch, now 4 for $10. Then keep your garden thriving with Miracle-Gro Garden Soil, now on special buy, 4 for $10. Give your neighbors yard envy all summer long with Memorial Day savings going on now at the Home Depot.
Here we go. It is Factor Cap time. For Factor Cap. On the Travis and DeMarco Show. Each weekday around 10:30, producer Emily serves up what's going down. And fun and frivolity ensues. Special thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand for making Factor Cap possible.
It's Joseph S. Normand. It's Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN. And if you've been hurt in an accident, let me help you. Call my office at 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let's do it. Factor Cap.
Right now. Take it away, producer Emily.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, guys.
Aloha.
Ahoy, hoy. Ouch, that hurt.
Okay. Also want to give a shout out to my sister Maggie, who's graduating from medical school today. Yay, Maggie! Medical school. She's gonna go to Kentucky to be a general surgeon resident at University of Kentucky. So
that is a fact.
Yes, that
I
is
like
a
that.
fact. Good for Maggie. Okay. This one I know, DeMarco, you're a huge fan of Star Wars. We started the show talking about Star Wars. Today is the anniversary. On this day in 2002, Star Wars: Attack of the Clones was released.
Ooh.
Okay, so Attack of the Clones is one of the more interesting titles to me of the Star Wars series because, well, I'm not going to spoil this video. So this video I found maybe a year ago or so, but I thought of it with this, that every Star Wars movie is named incorrectly. So I'm going to play this video for you as this content creator talks us through it.
This is why every Star Wars film has the wrong title. What happens in Episode 1? We meet Anakin Skywalker, The Rise of Skywalker. Years later, we find out that Palpatine, leader of the Sith, have ordered an army to destroy the Jedi. Revenge of the Sith. In Episode 3, Order 66 happens and the clones attack. Attack of the Clones. In Episode 4, Obi-Wan teaches Luke that it's time for the Jedi to return. Return of the Jedi. In Episode 5, Yoda teaches Luke how to use the Force. The Force Awakens. In Episode 6, both Yoda and Anakin die, which makes Luke the last Jedi. After the Empire is destroyed, a new Empire comes. The Empire Strikes Back. Come on, guys. In Episode 8, Luke trains Rey and then sacrifices himself to give the Resistance a new hope. Finally, in Episode 9, Palpatine returns from the dead, making him the Phantom Menace.
Oh my God.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Lucasfilm, hire me, please.
All right, so shout out to that content creator. He was really great at that. And it's my bone to pick with the series when I started watching it in 2020. So, Star Wars movies are named wrong. Andy, fact or cap?
I guess it's fact.
Right.
This guy really broke it down pretty well. I mean,
that's pretty good.
To be fair, this is what happens when you begin a franchise before you know it's going to become a franchise. Like when George Lucas originally called this Star Wars A New Hope, he had no idea what any of this was going to become, or like the forward-moving story, the backstory leading up to what eventually was Star Wars A New Hope. Like, you got to cut him a little bit of slack. Like, at the time, the Empire really was striking back in 1980. But yes, in retrospect, it turns out they are all named wrong.
That's pretty good. Movie titles are always weird, right? It's just
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I do like when they transport the movies. It's not the real title of the movie; it's just what they call it. Mm-hmm. Those things always crack me up. So titles can be ambiguous, but yeah, that guy's breakdown of Star Wars is actually right. That's fact.
Yeah, good work by that guy.
Yeah.
Look, I've only seen movies in parts. I've never sat down and watched a full movie except episode 1. It's my favorite one. I'm joking, DeMarco, because I wanted you to look at me that way.
Yeah. You've seen them, right?
No. I mean, I've seen. Yeah, of course I have. I'm just teasing.
No, I was getting excited. I love people that haven't seen it, so I get to watch it again.
But the titles, I don't care.
That's so cool.
Just
Yeah. Okay.
For what it is.
I binged them all in the pandemic in like the summer of 2020, and I would watch one a day, and I would come down to dinner with my roommates and be like, "You guys can't believe what happened."
Oh my God, that's funny.
Anakin killed all those kids.
You will never believe who Luke's father actually is.
What's kind of crazy is I really didn't have many spoilers because no one in my life watched Star Wars, which is why I hadn't seen it before. So I knew that I'm your father is a thing, but I didn't know what the context was around it. So I was pretty
the guy
much
in
spoiler-free.
the little creature in the swamp, that is Yoda.
That is Yoda, right.
Okay, today is National Classic Movie Day. I'm celebrating it by seeing Dog Day Afternoon this afternoon.
Good movie.
And it's a movie I hadn't seen before. I had not seen this classic film before, so this is my first viewing of this movie.
You're in for a treat.
I'm excited. So no spoilers. But my statement is, there is a classic movie that is a shame that you haven't seen. Like, it's a shame on you that you haven't seen this movie.
I'm embarrassed I'm embarrassed to admit it. I've never seen Casablanca.
Oh, it's great.
See?
Great movie to see at Valentine's Day, or like a romantic era for you and your wife. Go see it like in the theater.
I will. It's been on the bucket list. I have to watch it someday. I've never seen it.
Here's looking at you, kid.
See? There it is.
Andy.
Oh God! Off the top of my head, I just did a Google search, classic movies. Just like off the top of my head, it's hard to like. The movies that have come up, I've seen Citizen Kane, I've seen Casablanca, obviously The Godfather, I've seen Gone with the Wind, I've seen Lawrence of Arabia, I've seen Singing in the Rain.
Oh, Lawrence of Arabia, 4.5 hours? I know, it's great.
Okay, here's one that came up. I don't think I've ever seen the original 12 Angry Men.
Oh, really?
What?
Okay.
I don't think I've actually seen it.
That's one of my favorite
Super
movies
good.
of all time.
Oh, I'm sure it is great.
Yeah.
If I have, it's been so long ago that I don't remember.
Is that
Henry
George
Fonda?
C. Scott? Or is that the remake?
I don't know who George C. Scott is.
Henry Fonda, I believe, is in it, correct?
Okay, so
Henry Fonda is the main guy.
It's been done a few times. Okay, yeah. All right.
No, George C. Scott is in it.
He's in it, okay.
He's just not, the main guy is Henry Fonda. The guy that flips everybody is Henry Fonda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jorge, there's a classic movie that you haven't seen. Star Wars?
No, Star Wars, exactly. No, you guys talk about this movie a lot. I've never seen it. The Shining.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've never, I
really
hear all the references.
Because that's beyond
seen that.
That's beyond like what's considered a classic movie. It was just like it's become so ubiquitous. Like it's on cable every other day.
I'm not sure if it would actually scare you now, because of what movies have done and what we've done in movies. Like
it's more ominous than scary.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it would really creep you out like it did when it first came out. Now, yeah, maybe if you watched just Jax.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
It's worth
transformation.
seeing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely worth seeing.
And if you enjoy filmmaking, which I know you do, I think that the Kubrick style movie,
you would like that.
You should
you're
watch
right.
it. That's a great point, Emily.
Yeah.
You should watch it, Jorge, just for the filmmaking technique.
Yeah, because it's the, to me, my favorite Kubrick film, and the way that he uses color, the way he uses scope is really interesting. And there are so many people that copy him, and especially in horror movies. Airbnb has announced Airbnb Originals, which the company touts as extraordinary experiences hosted by the world's most interesting people. For example, the initial celebrities are Sabrina Carpenter, who will host a, quote, day of glam, dancing, and espresso. Kansas City Chiefs star Patrick Mahomes, with whom you can, quote, learn how to throw a perfect spiral and enjoy Kansas City barbecue. So basically, you can go rent this Airbnb, but also there's going to be a famous person there. Obviously, it's going to be very expensive. You would enjoy this. You would enjoy an experience where you go and you spend an afternoon with somebody in a catered experience around your favorite star. Jorge Fatricap. What if it was Messi or Beckham?
Oh, heck yeah. I was just going to say David Robert Joseph Beckham. Let's go. Let's do it, man.
I thought you were kidding. You're a Beckham fan?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, go ahead.
You pick his brain. You get to talk to him, right? It's not just there and you.
Yeah,
you hang.
The person is going to be there
and host us, basically.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're at their party.
Absolutely. Yeah, David Beckham. Let's do it.
Andy?
1,000%. This sounds awesome.
And who would be your person?
Ooh. I mean, the first person that came to mind for me was Scorsese.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because
his movie setup.
Movies. He's a great talker, period. Like, he's a really entertaining person to be around. Everybody seems to love being around him.
Yeah.
He's now, Emily, I'm sure you've seen this. He's leaning into, like, the TikTok of it all.
Yeah, his daughter has gotten him on TikTok.
Right. So, I mean, there are others, but Scorsese was the first guy that came to mind for me.
Marco?
Well, I was thinking something wrestling related. That would be fun.
Oh, yeah. Like The Rock?
The Rock, Stone Cold, a barbecue with Stone Cold, having a beer with Stone Cold, and just talking about the business.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun, talking about matches. But the guy that actually came to mind that I would love doing this with, it's kind of in the same vein as you. It would actually be Tarantino.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He also popped in
Let's
mind
just
as well.
hang out and talk.
Well, the thing that would be fun with Tarantino is, like, he loves, obviously, movies and stuff, but, like, his pop culture range is super wide.
I would love to just sit and chill with him and talk pop culture.
Too.
No, I was going to say another guy that he'll just keep talking. You don't have to,
when
don't
you
have to worry
see
about awkward pauses.
Dog Day, I don't know how to explain this. Maybe you can help me. Is it John Cazale?
Yeah.
The actor.
Yeah.
Powerhouse of an actor.
Fredo Corleone.
Gone way too soon. How about this for a heater? Deer Hunter, Dog Day, The Godfather 1 and 2, and then that's it. The Conversation, and then that's it.
I love The Conversation. I just watched that recently.
The Conversation, great Gene Hackman movie. It was. This is how much of a heater, we're talking about heaters, Francis Ford Coppola was on. In 1974, he had The Godfather Part 2 come out, and that ended up winning Best Picture, and The Conversation with Gene Hackman, which also got nominated for Best Picture. John Cazale's in it.
Yeah.
The Conversation would be like the best movie for like 95% of the directors who've ever made a movie. Like, it's that good. And it's Coppola's other movie of the year. John Cazale, though, he was only in 5 movies.
Yeah.
All 5 nominated for Best Picture.
I mean, a heater.
Yeah.
a heater.
He was a great actor.
Yes, he was.
When we were talking about classic movies just a second ago, just anybody out there, you're not going to go wrong almost with anybody from the 1970s. If you have a director that was doing good work in the 1970s, anything from them and that time is going to be good.
It's a great era for movies in general.
That is on my list, my Mount Rushmore of lists.
Which one?
Favorite movies. Deer Hunter.
Deer Hunter's
Deer Hunter. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Really, the first time I saw the Deer Hunter, it was it came out when I was a little kid, so I didn't see it till I was older. And this was back when you would rent VHS cassettes for your VHS player from Blockbuster.
The double?
Yes. Okay. The Deer Hunter is like a 3-ish hour movie. So it's a double cassette.
Yeah.
I put the movie in, and I accidentally put it in Part 2.
Oh, my God.
Part 2 happens to open on the Russian roulette
with that scene. Yes.
So the movie, in my mind, the movie is opening. Yeah, the movie's opening with De Niro and Walken as prisoners of POWs in Vietnam being forced to play Russian roulette by gamblers.
Mao!
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, what a way to start a movie.
I was like, oh my God, this is the most.
Yes.
I was like, I don't even know who these guys are. And then I'm watching like another tenant. I'm like, boy, they've jumped in.
It's
really
weird,
early.
right? Yeah.
Like, this is a lot. And then I'm like, dude, that's part 2.
Right. Cinematically, just movie thinking. I've never wanted a guy to die so much than that guy in that scene. The guy that was making them play that Russian roulette.
Well, he got
no!
Spoiler alert,
Yeah.
he got his. Me sponsor?
Well, this is...
Okay, I wasn't sure. This is Factor Cap. You got
This has been Factor Cap brought to you by Joseph S. Normand. You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first. Call 213-747-2000, the law office of Joseph S. Normand. Call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. Or visit normandlegal.com. Now here's your part,
Sometimes
Andy.
Emily reads, sometimes I read. I wasn't sure. All right. Talking before about Dan Wojcicki's piece in the LA Times about the Lakers. Will they trade Austin Reaves? Won't they? What would it take? But also a reason that apparently the Lakers would be reluctant to trade Reaves that I think they need to get over.
Mao!
710 ESPN.
The biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland on 710.
So I'm going on vacation. Have no idea where. Okay. I have said I don't control the steering wheel of my life, and that is generally true. I will be told where we will be going on vacation, and I've heard things like New York, Scottsdale, Austin, Key West, the desert. I heard Spain. I mean, I have no idea where the hell we're going.
I hope Spain.
Does it ever work like that for you?
No, that would be weird for me. I actually think it kind of sounds fun.
Yeah.
But I'm a control freak, so I have to be in charge of the trip. I have to be picking the hotels, picking the flights. I got to be in charge of that aspect of my life. So for me, it would be weird.
That's interesting because I am a control freak generally around the show, but not in my daily life.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Today at noon.
Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Waba Grill is an LA original, so we've got to keep it real. Real fresh with our Asian-inspired menu that's grilled to order every time.
Pick me up and never put me down.
Real quality with our marinated proteins like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium beverage drink like our creamy and delicious Thai tea. Waba Grill, keeping it real every day for you.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Get a taste of that winning feeling before the buzzer sounds with ESPN Bet's early victory promo. Simply place a pregame moneyline bet on any NBA playoff game, and if the team you back goes up by 20 or more points at any point in the game, your bet will get paid out early. Available throughout the NBA playoffs at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
It's a Friday. It's 10:45. It also means time for my Pachanga Pick of the Week. So we got the WNBA starting up today, and the first few games happening over the weekend. And so we get the chance to welcome in a new Spark. We got Kelsey Plum making her Spark debut, so I'm excited to see that. So I'm going to have her as my Pachanga Pick of the Week. Kelsey Plum, over 20 total points, and that's my pick of the week. I'm excited to see her come over here, a champion, and help this rebuild for the Sparks.
That was Never mind. That was the Pechanga pick of the week.
That's all.
Presented by Pechanga Resort
was
Casino.
married to an NFL player.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for knowing where I was trying to get to. Play your perfect combo at Pechanga Resort Casino. Visit pechanga.com for more information.
She's got a fun personality.
She does.
Yeah, she had the popcorn eating meme.
Yeah.
She also had the revenge outfit as she walked in after she split from Darren Waller. Yeah, Kelsey Plum's
no
a real
heat
one.
and no hate, but bro, I think you might have fumbled the bag there. I'm just saying. I've seen your rap video.
It's like Ime Udoka with Nia Long. Like, bro,
what are you doing?
Like, seriously, what? Have you seen? By the way, she's been sending out tweets like "Go
yes,
Knicks."
Yes,
good
yes.
for her.
You deserve every bad you get in your life.
For her, you are insane to fumble that bag.
Yes.
I mean, putting aside the office politics of it all, like, what are you thinking?
Maybe we should do a draft of bag fumblers. Long list.
Stripped. Wow.
Hugh Grant, Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh, my God.
What
Top.
were you thinking?
Yes. Call it the Hugh Grant Award. Yeah, there you go. That's it right there.
Brad Pitt.
An award you don't want named after you for sure.
No, nobody wants that one.
Oof.
All right, so we were talking before about Dan Wojcicki and the piece he has for the LA Times addressing, there's been a lot of chatter lately about would the Lakers trade Austin Reaves? Should the Lakers trade Austin Reaves? And there was a couple other things that jumped out at me. First of all, the idea of what it would take for the Lakers to trade Austin in the first place. And Dan says, part of it, quote, Austin or Reaves not viewed as untradeable. I think he means more like untouchable versus untradeable, like an untradeable contract. He means like he's not untouchable.
Say that again slower for the people in the back.
He's not viewed as untradeable because almost no one in the NBA is untradeable.
Okay, so he can be traded.
Right. I think untradeable can have a context like nobody would want the deal.
Oh, he's just
move
okay.
him.
Yes.
Right.
You can definitely move Austin Reaves.
Austin is not untouchable.
Yeah.
Quote, but if the Lakers are going to trade him for a center obviously a conversation point right now, they're going to want one that is foundationally important, a build-around type, and not a fill-in towards the obvious need they have at center and will address in other ways. If one of the best centers in the NBA were available, the conversations might be different, but at least now, during the first part of the offseason, that just isn't the case. You could transfer center specific to just one of the best available at position blank. Because I don't imagine they're thinking about Austin in trade terms as just center or no center. I mean, you could think about this as if one of the best
kind of
wings.
am.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of am. I'm in the market for a big.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big fat hole here.
Oh, absolutely.
At the 5.
But what I'm saying is I don't think they would only trade Austin for a center and a center only. Like if a really good small forward was out there, like somebody that might fill some of the needs alongside Luka, like it would need to be an upper echelon small forward, upper echelon at any position.
I see where you're coming, but if we're in the same front office, I'd be saying I'd save the AR trade piece for a center, because I need to get a quality big man, and the only way to do that is with trading AR.
Well, I mean, that actually speaks to a larger point, DeMarco, which is just the best way the Lakers may have to upgrade at blank would be trading Austin.
Fair. And I think the biggest hole would be at the 5. I'm trying to think who might be available.
Well, I mean, other than, Bill Simmons floated the idea of the Lakers trading for Joel Embiid, but that was transparently Bill Simmons trying to destroy the Lakers.
So you're out on that?
Way out.
You're way out on that? Okay.
Way.
Okay, Ireland was not so cold on it as I would have thought.
Terrible GM.
You think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But
any name you dangle in front of John, all over it.
I'm kind of like John though, but not like that. But I mean, when you think
Embiid is hurt too much.
I'm thinking about when he's not, and the only example I can give is Kawhi Leonard.
You've had to go through an awful lot to get to this version of Kawhi.
And I don't think he's that bad off, or maybe he is.
It's taken years of trial and error, stop and start with Kawhi to get this version of Kawhi as he ages.
It almost might not be worth it. I get you.
It's not. Well, look, when Kawhi is on the court, Kawhi is still
fantastic.
Great,
yes.
But you can't rely on it.
Okay, so, and I'm not going to disagree with you about that with Embiid.
Embiid has played less than 60 games over the last 2 years.
Not going to disagree with you about Embiid on that, but I would say this. At least you would say I'm right about this. If he stays healthy.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
If he were healthy, the best version of Embiid would be what for the Lakers? Great.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
The best version of Embiid would help you win a championship.
The only only reason the Sixers would ever even consider moving Embiid is because they can't rely on him to stay on the court.
That guy does not exist anymore.
Right.
Okay, we're on the same page.
But there was another piece of this that I thought was interesting, and it's about how the Lakers internally love the story of Austin Reaves. From Dan's piece, quote, "The Lakers and the most important people in the organization all love Reaves and his journey from undrafted free agent to a talent that people think is all-star caliber. It is a legitimately fantastic story, the story of Austin Reaves, going from undrafted, he transferred colleges a couple times, having to work his way onto the Lakers with a two-way deal to becoming the level of player that he is. Austin is a really likable guy. He's a really hardworking guy. I know he's respected in the locker room. All that stuff is real. It is a likable story. It is also not a reason to keep a guy around because you love the story.
Totally agree. I could care less about the story. Anybody? Is outside of DeMar? Is it DeMar Hamlin? DeMar.
Yes.
DeMar Hamlin. Outside of a story like that, I could care less about your story.
The Lakers like to create a narrative around themselves.
That's where I'm going with this, Emily. The Lakers love mythology. They love the story of the franchise. And I get it because it's an awesome story. But sometimes I think they get a little too caught up in their own mythology. And I also would worry that Austin Reaves could be considered like a win on your resume if you're Rob Pelinka. Like it's something that you can point at and say, this happened under my watch. This is awesome. And you want to keep that around as a reminder of the win.
So he's the Lakers version of Vince Papale?
I guess so. I mean, he's a better player than Vince Papale, but yes, I understand what you're saying.
It's a story. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
he's a much better player than Papale, but I understand where you're going.
Yeah. And the Eagles now, I mean, if you had to sacrifice a Vince Papale story to win the same championship you just won, there is no Vince Papale.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could care less about the story. I just want the victory, and what can you do to help this team win a championship?
And it reminds me a bit of at the time a few years ago when the Lakers made the choice, and it was a financially induced choice of their own making. They could have, kept both. But when they made the choice between Alex Caruso and THT, they chose THT. They clearly chose wrong. Among the reasons that I'd heard about, there are other factors. I know Clutch gets discussed. He was a Clutch client, that deal. But THT was seen as their own discovery, as opposed to Alex Caruso, who technically began with another organization. He began in the OKC G League affiliate team. So he was never their guy. He was never their discovery. He doesn't become one of their own. That's a bad reason to devalue Alex Caruso because he was clearly better than THT.
That was a mistake.
More immediately helpful and cheaper. He costs less.
I hope you learned a lesson then.
I hope so too.
That your desire to have people say, "Hey, look, this was your find or the story or whatever." You're putting on AR outside of what he does on the floor. If that precludes you from trading him to get a better piece, then you're doing it wrong.
Absolutely.
Then you haven't learned a darn thing from Caruso.
Right. And again, Austin's a really good player. I get where the Lakers would be reluctant to trade him. Like, they shouldn't be looking to just shop him willy-nilly. Like, I don't think that. But there have been times to me where it's felt like Austin is too close to untouchable than he merits.
I thought he was close. I really did. I thought he was it's not untouchable, it was invaluable. I really did. I really thought he had entered the big three realm until this playoff series with Minnesota. It really highlighted some things he could not do.
Right.
And because of that, it affected him on the other end of the floor. So,
look, all great players, like Kobe, one of the all-time greats. Kobe had a terrible finals against the Pistons in 2004. You know, he struggled at least shooting in the 2010 Game 7 against the Celtics. Like, all the greats have their down moments, much less a guy at Austin's level.
But, okay, so I'll give you the same thing about Ant Edwards. When his shot wasn't falling, he was still a big part of Minnesota winning games because there's so many other things he can do. It seemed like AR kind of disappeared on us.
Yes, he did. And look, again,
great players don't disappear.
There can be contextual reasons, the toe, matchup, whatever.
Okay.
But what makes it, I think, something the Lakers have to ponder is these were all weaknesses that we'd seen in Austin before. It's not like anything that came up with Austin was like, whoa, that's new.
Yeah.
Never seen that before. It was just like all of the weaknesses magnified in one really bad series.
And I'm not advocating getting rid of the guy.
Sure.
I like him. I would love to get some help, some rim protection so you can keep him. But if to get that big, it may cost me him. So I'm being a realist too.
Look, man, these are difficult decisions. It's why Rob Pelinka just got a new extension, makes the big bucks. It's because he's got.
We got a 12-man lifeboat, and we've got food for 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm going to eat.
All right. Last night, the Dodgers beat the ever-living snot out of the A's, and we got a first look at Dalton Rushing. Looked pretty good. Get into that coming up next. Travis and DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
Mother's Day is over, and now it's back to me. Hey, Pancho, pass the scotch and cigars, will you? Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Smoking good times. Cigars, spirits, food, fun, and live music by Pancho Sanchez. This Sunday.
Number 2.
Foghat, live May 23rd.
And the number 1 reason.
Oasis Pool is beaching. The cabanas are beaching. The water slide is beaching. The lazy river is beaching. It's a beaching good time.
Morongo, good times.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Hey, John Ireland here. Laker fans, meet Pro Baller Energy, the official energy drink of the Lakers. It's a natural, healthier alternative loaded with ultra-premium ingredients like organic agave, electrolytes, B vitamins, and natural caffeine. Plus, it's NSF certified for sport. Just clean energy to keep you locked in without the crash or synthetic junk. So go grab yourself the limited edition Lakers can and rep the team in style. Pro Baller Energy, champions choose clean energy.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/LA to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/LA.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
What's on tap today?
What are you laughing about?
The drop, man. You didn't hear the drop?
No, what'd I miss?
Morales.
I thought that was you. I was looking down. No. Oh, okay, that was Morales. Go ahead.
That's just Morales.
Oh.
Cackling about something. Probably some sexual pun. What's on tap today on 710 ESPN? Freeway Series begins tonight. Angels pregame coverage begins at 6 p.m. right after Sedano and Cap. Listen on 710 or on the all-new ESPN LA app. Thanks to Michelob Ultra, a refreshing balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, it is only worth it if you enjoy it. Please enjoy responsibly. Last night, the Dodgers took no care about being responsible in the way they treated the Angels. They beat the crap out of them.
The A's.
No, excuse me, the A's.
Yeah.
19-2. Otani, it's his bobblehead night. He gave the fans what they were looking for other than just their bobblehead. 2 home runs. 2 home runs. 6 RBI. He tried for a third.
Yes.
He tried his hardest for a third. The A's had given up, and they were putting a position player out there. What's his name? Parada? The position.
Cy Young after that. Struck out Otani, man.
It was great. He struck out Otani on, I believe, like an 89-mile-an-hour pitch.
Right
I don't even
by
know
him.
what you call that.
God
and
bless
this
him.
is great. He asked for the ball back.
You should, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when Otani goes into the Hall of Fame, I struck him out with this right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You keep that thing, and I always love when the position players, like when you've got a blowout and the position players just go out there and they just take the tension. Pareda.
I would volunteer for that.
So would I.
Absolutely. I'd be throwing my Kent Jacolby stuff up there, my submarine shots.
There's a reason guys like Miggy Rojas and Kike do this stuff because they're like the performers. They love to lean into performing for the crowd.
Yes, it's Savannah Banana time.
Yes.
Yeah, the game's over. Why not have some fun, some levity to it? But great game last night, and I did think of Emily for a hot minute because, and didn't you guys say there were enough bobbleheads for everyone?
Yes.
And still people showed up early.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Still people showed up early.
Yeah.
There's enough for everyone. There's enough to go around.
Well, I wonder now.
There's no trust in the world.
A, there's no trust in the world. You worry about people hoarding. B,
that's it. Yeah.
I wonder if this has now gone on long enough, like the culture of people camping out for bobbleheads and the giveaways, that after a while, it's the same people showing up early because they want to be there early because they're going to be amongst the other early arrivers. Like, this is your scene.
This is just their thing?
Yeah,
this
is
their
your scene.
Their society. They're all going to be
They're
there.
bobblehead people.
Yes.
That's their community. They have a little bobblehead friend group.
Yes. Yes. They're like.
Are you shaking your head, Jorge? No, not you. You're not a bobblehead guy?
No, if I don't get one, I don't get one.
Yeah,
Like,
me too. I'm with you.
Yeah.
They're like a non-traveling version of Deadheads.
Okay.
And like this is their thing. Also, don't look now, but Max Muncy's starting to hit.
Getting hot, man. Home runs in consecutive games to the same part of the park. So, I mean, that to me tells me he's getting his timing, and you can tell his confidence is coming back.
4 RBI last night. He is starting to put the bat on the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Another guy who puts the bat on the ball, Dalton Rushing.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
He had a single that was clocked at 110 miles an hour.
Keep
off
hearing
his
this.
Bat.
Yeah.
Every hit that he had last night hit hard. He looked the part. He got to actually do a little bit of catching.
Looks like a major leaguer, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And Andrew Friedman said, calling up Rushing, obviously we talked about this yesterday, that meant DFAing Austin Barnes, quote, Rushing, has obviously been on our radar for a long time in terms of when and how to introduce him on the major league team. I think with the improvements we've seen over the last couple of years, coupled with being in a tight division race, I think it falls in line with our consistent message of doing anything and everything we can to win. Obviously, Austin's been a part of this organization for a long time. He's been in the middle of a lot of big moments for us. His impact has been significant. So it was one of the harder decisions.
Can't hold him back anymore, man.
Nope.
It is what it is. I mean, look, Rushing's coming up, and they need a spot for him. So that's the same example of what we were just talking about with the story or the feeling. I like this guy, but the business of baseball says, I got to make room for this kid. You have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, too, like, Rushing can play catcher, and that gives you the opportunity to give Will Smith a bit of a break.
Day off.
Day off. Rushing may eventually, Will Smith's under a very long contract that most catchers can't fulfill. But I know Will Smith has played some third over his career. There may come a point where Rushing starts becoming the full-time catcher, where Will Smith starts playing more out in the field just to preserve his body. It's
just to rest up a little bit.
It is difficult. Year in, year out over a decade. To play
that's
catcher.
interesting. I just wonder. I mean, you're talking over years, not this season.
I think he is going to give Will Smith some breaks over the course of the year. I don't think he's going to supplant Will Smith as a starting catcher
this year. It gives the Dodgers more options.
Options. He also, too, I think Rushing can play some in the outfield as well. So it gives you the opportunity to give Pages a night off.
Yeah.
It gives you the opportunity to give all these different guys a night off, but also the opportunity to get Rushing's bat in there without taking Otani off the field because Otani's the DH.
He's locked in.
Night in, night out.
I would say this to Max Muncy: you have a month. I would. You have one more month to prove to me that you're not just hot, you're back. Because outside of that, decisions have to be made. And like
Chris
you said,
Taylor's another guy that's got to be thinking about this.
Another dude. Yes, there's changes in the air, and when you let go of guys like Barnes, it wakes everybody up to the fact that the Dodgers aren't going to wait for you.
Well,
so figure it out fast.
A guy like Rushing performing, a guy like Hae-Sung Kim performing.
Yeah.
He's been very good since he's come up.
I keep saying this about Kim. He's got the best quads on the team. He does. If it should be bobble quad night for him some point. And rushing, no Diddy. He's got a great bubble. That's what I mean. He looks like a major league catcher already. So
Kim looks bigger than he actually is.
He's not going to wait for long. Yeah, they're going to have to make a choice on him at some point. So this will move about 3 different guys when he settles into an everyday spot, if it is this season.
I don't think this will be an issue with this clubhouse, because the established talent, like the true stars of this team, are so good. They are in no danger of ever losing their spot. Like, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Otani,
right.
Will Smith. These guys are so great.
You're supplementing them around.
But it is always an interesting culture shift when the young guys start coming up and you can no longer deny that those are the guys. And how do the older guys on the team react? Like, I remember years ago, this is going back more than a decade, but when I covered the Dodgers for the LA Times doing their Dodgers blog, 2007 season, I remember this because it is still to this day the worst locker room or clubhouse I've ever covered, bar none.
07?
07.
Okay.
There was a very public feud going on between the elder established players on this team, like Nomar, Brad Penny, Derek Lowe, Luis Gonzalez, the older guys more established on the team, the veterans, versus Russell Martin, James Loney, Andre Ethier, Matt Kemp, the young up-and-coming guys that maybe had not, quote-unquote, paid their dues yet, but they were all better than the veteran guys. And the push and pull of when do you start playing those guys more, how do the veterans deal with it? In this particular case, the veterans dealt with it really, really badly.
Yeah.
And it turned into a very open, frankly, civil war inside the clubhouse.
Grady Little, manager,
Yep.
right?
Yes,
Okay,
he
so
was.
I'm looking at, and I was thinking without
Yes,
even
he
looking,
was.
I bet that team wasn't very good.
They were
82 and 80.
Yeah,
They were eh. That's when the stuff starts.
Yep.
But I bet with this team, when you're winning and you have such great guys at the top, you have a bunch of young players that really want to stay here.
Yep.
They want to be a part of this. So it's not like a civil war between the older guys, like the established guys like Otani, Freeman, Mookie Betts. They're not going anywhere. They're different. It's the other guys, the Max Muncies of the world. So the younger guys want to be a part of this, and the older guys have to perform to stay on the roster.
Right.
I think that's what you're seeing right now.
Well, and it helps, too, again, that, like, Otani, Betts, Freeman, Smith, like, these guys are in no danger of losing anything.
They're on a different path,
And,
yes.
and a few of the veterans, someone like Kike. Kike knows exactly who he is on this team.
Mhm.
Like, Kike is not agitating for more playing time. He's not territorial about his position. He knows his job is, I do what I'm asked when I'm asked. Sometimes I'm not being asked to do anything. That's fine. It's... And I want to make it clear, I'm not saying Max Muncy or Chris Taylor will be a problem. I'm saying this is...
Well, you are the most vulnerable.
I was going to say, these are the vulnerable veterans, like the guys that are sort of in the middle of the hierarchy of this team.
Yeah, and it's nothing personal.
No.
You're just pointing at your slash. No. Yeah, that right there, we can't have this. This young kid down here deserves an opportunity if you're not maximizing.
And look, for what it's worth, I think the Muncies and Taylors of that locker room are going to be far better than the veterans of that 2007 year, which, again, I said, it's the worst clubhouse I've ever covered. And frankly, those guys were incredibly unprofessional about the situation.
Yeah, it could go sideways.
It can go sideways. I don't think it's going to with this team, but it's nonetheless that dynamic I think is going to be really interesting to watch. And like you said, they're on notice.
I'd give Max, because you love him, give him a month to let this be more than a fluke or just a hot streak. And let me see if you can dominate the month. Can you be the MVP of the team with Otani, Freeman, and Mookie Betts? Can you be one of the more important players for the next month? If not, then you probably start rotating people auditioning for his job, or at least you at least think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. The Knicks are going to try to put away the Celtics for good tonight in the Garden. What happens if they can't pull this off? Get into that coming up next, 710 ESPN.
Sunday, it's more than a match. It's a battle for Los Angeles. LAFC is riding high on a 6-game unbeaten streak, while the Galaxy are still searching for their first win of the season. 2 teams, 1 city, bragging rights on the line. Catch all the action of the LA Derby, LAFC versus Galaxy, Sunday on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
Winning matters, especially after an accident. At calljacob.com, we're here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp recently surveyed over 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it's wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. At BetterHelp, they have over 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We're all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
Ready for a delicious escape? The New Islands Restaurant's $10 protein bowls are your ticket. Packed with over 40 grams of protein and stacked with fresh ingredients. They're only here for a limited time, so enjoy one today. Visit islandsrestaurants.com.
All right, listen up. Whether you're out for a walk, hitting the gym, or just tackling your day, in this LA heat, chafing is no joke. Take my word for it. That's why you need Highlands Chafing Relief. This stuff is a game changer. Goes on like a cream, dries like a powder, and stays put even through sweat and water. No greasy mess, just all-day protection. If you've already got some chafing, Highlands soothes it fast with aloe, shea butter, and tea tree oil. Don't let chafing slow you down. Grab Highlands Chafing Relief at Walmart or Target right now.
Hey guys, have you checked out the all-new Park West Bicycle Casino? With a new owner, fresh renovations, and upgraded amenities, it's a whole new way to experience LA's premier table game casino. From poker, blackjack, ultimate Texas Hold'em, and Baccarat, they've got all the action for ESPN LA listeners. Brand new players who sign up for their Players Reward get $30 in match play. Just say, Cappy sent me to get $30 in match play. Park West Bicycle Casino.
Please gamble responsibly. Problemgambling.ca.gov. 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGR-001291. GEAR-001292. GEAR-001298. BSIS license number 1358.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Remember that thing, the snake draft, when I said like a wheat strain with my name on it?
Yep.
Okay, so going to school in Seattle, it rains a lot. So there's a lot of indoor activity. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So me and my buddy, God rest his soul, we were on our way back to our dorm, and, you know, we had some fun. It was a driving rainstorm in Seattle, one of the biggest, right? So we're sitting at this red light listening to this album. It just come off, or just come out. So this is probably what track on the album? I mean, it's deep, right? So
yeah.
We got to the end of this song, and I'm like, man, P, this is a long light. And he goes, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And we're like, oh, it's blinking. We had sat at a blinking red light for must be 25 minutes, waiting for it to turn green to this song. This is what woke us up, or woke me up.
There was, you know how there is like the narrative and the belief that like if you smoke, it releases your creativity. Like your mind will expand, taking you to places you wouldn't have before. I remember years ago, I was working on either a play or a screenplay that I was writing, and I decided to try to tap into my creativity through a little smoke. And there was a point where I realized, like, I started to, like, I don't know, wrote a little bit of dialogue, and then I was like, let me think about what comes next. I then realized I had sat for at least half an hour straight just staring at this screen without moving because I was so zooted.
You're traveling.
And that was the point where I realized that's just a myth.
Astro traveling.
It does not. Yes. It does not unlock a thing for me.
No.
Maybe it does for the Snoops and Dre's of the world. It does not for me.
I am a great friend to have. I'm a great driver. I am. Like I could be the DD in a heartbeat, but I am an excellent passenger. I am that guy. Oh my God, I'm an excellent passenger, especially for that room.
I experience no creativity if I am under the influence of THC. NBA playoffs, the draft, free agency, the offseason, every moment of what the purple and gold will do on the biggest offseason in history. We got your dose of what comes next for the Lakers, thanks to Pro Baller, the official energy drink of the Los Angeles Lakers. By the way, Corporate Greg is very active right now in the chat of the Travis and DeMarco show.
What's he doing?
He's just talking a lot of Dodgers right now. And he pointed out, too, when we were talking about the veterans and the young guys and the dynamic of all that, that's going to become even more interesting when Teo and Edman are back.
Oh, yeah. Teo's coming back soon, right? It's not as bad as we thought.
I think so.
Okay.
So, again, and Edman, Teo especially, I mean, these are great clubhouse guys. I'm not predicting any issues. I just always find the dynamic of younger guys pushing up, older guys established. How does that work? I was just finding it interesting to watch.
Yeah, I was having fun with it just this morning, trying to think of your World Series lineup right now. If you had to pick and who would be where.
And everyone's healthy?
And everyone's healthy, yeah, and who would be where. I bet it's going to look drastically different than what it is now, and might be some surprises.
The idea that you even have so much mixing and matching options speaks to just the insane, stupid depth of this team.
Yes.
It's crazy.
And still, while you're figuring it out, your top three guys and some of your pitching, not the ones we thought, is still carrying the team.
I mean, look, I get why whenever the Dodgers have a bad series or lay an egg, fans don't like it. You want to see these guys perform at their best at all times. And I know that there are fans who don't like seeing what feels like the Dodgers mailing in this part of the season or not fully locked in. All I can tell you is, it's going fine. Like they are 14 games above 500. They are back at the top of the NL. They're back at the top of the NL. It's fine. Also, it is so hard to stay locked in for an entire baseball season. It's so long. A lot of it, to be honest, is really boring and tedious for
it's
these
a marathon.
players.
It's the opening moves of a chess match. Yeah, it's kind of boring, but you're setting up your stretch run, and you're doing exactly what the team is designed to do. Was it Ray Charles? It's going to do what it do, baby. Was that him? That was Ray Charles. Right. It's going to do what it do, baby. That's Andrew Friedman. It's this team, the way it's constructed, it's going to do what it does. Before we even figure out who we are and how we like to play baseball, it's still going to do what it does.
Well, this is one of the things, though. We'll get into the Celtics and Knicks in just a bit. But one of the things you had mentioned with cutting Austin Barnes, like the idea that it sends a message that everybody, maybe not everybody's vulnerable, but some of you guys, you need to step up your game or you could be deemed expendable. And I think that's a good thing for this team because
there's requirements to membership.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't blame them if they're not feeling urgent now because there's nothing to feel urgent about. You would be faking urgency, but you don't want complacency. There's a difference.
You cannot, I don't want to say reward or punish a guy for not being good, but you can't let a guy not hit. You can't let a guy hurt you time and time again, especially when you have young players that are looking to come up. And you have something to protect here. So if you're a veteran on this club, like you said, if you're Teo, if you're Max Muncy, you know what it is. You got some young guys that they're not trying to wait. They want to get on the boat. They want to get on a World Series ring parade float right now. So that means they may have to go through your spot, but you have to defend it as well. There's only so much a story's going to last. I think Austin Barnes just proved that. Or feeling's going to last. You're going to have to produce.
Well, I mean, look, I think there was a degree of loyalty and sentiment, whether you're talking about from the Dodgers or acknowledging the relationship between Kershaw and Barnes, that kept him around maybe longer than his play would merit. Like the Dodgers, I think, have been loyal to Austin Barnes because in part they recognize what he brings to the table. But we've reached the point now where the intangibles no longer outweigh the tangibles.
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point you need the tangible production. He wasn't providing it.
Right. And I think you said the exit velocity for rushing, right?
Yeah.
Coming off the bat. And I bet he's been doing this a lot longer than we not than we realize, that it's been reported.
From everything I understand, Rushing has always been a dude that puts the bat on the ball.
And I
hard.
bet they've been saying, hey, look, this kid is ready for his look in the show right now, so you need to make room. How do we do that? It's going to have to be you.
It sucks.
Well, that's what happens.
Right.
Or you open the door due to injury.
I mean,
there's no guarantee you get your spot back.
The flip side is Austin Barnes managed to spend his entire career with his hometown team. He's from Riverside. I guarantee he made as much or more money than he ever expected to make. Probably have some job with the Dodgers, the front office sometime down the line, coaching, whatever. That's awesome.
Would not be shocked if he turned out to be a manager.
Oh, not at all.
Would not be shocked. He's a catcher.
I was going to say, any longtime catcher, always a candidate. Knicks looking to close out the Celtics tonight in the Garden, Game 5. Celtics managed to stave this thing off without Jason Tatum. You got the Luke Cornett game.
Yeah.
7 blocks from Luke Cornett.
Luke Kennard.
Luke Kennard. Patrick Bricard. Yeah.
I love yesterday in the rundown Emily sent to us when we were talking about Knicks Celtics, she listed it as the Luke Kennard game, which is just perfect because two nondescript looking white dudes.
Come on.
Totally opposite players.
Yeah.
Complete night and day different players.
But
nondescript looking white dudes.
Happens.
They do.
Who said it? Somebody put it out there that this is almost a better series without Tatum. Tried to float the idea that
the Ewing rule theory or whatever. The Ewing theory.
Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Okay, that the Knicks were better without Patrick Ewing.
Well, when Patrick Ewing got hurt in '99 during the lockout season, that was the year that the Knicks ended up going to the finals. They ended up losing to the Spurs.
I remember that was the get me my ring year.
I believe it was Bill Simmons who coined the phrase the Ewing theory, being a situation where a team becomes unexpectedly or inexplicably better after they lose their best player.
Okay.
Goes opposite of what you expect.
The wounded animal fights harder. Yeah, I get that. But without Tatum, he's one of the best players in the league.
I don't know how many times the wounded Celtics can successfully fight without Tatum.
I'm with you on that.
I don't know how many times they can pull this off.
That's disrespectful to him that you think they could. Well, I mean, they could probably win without him, but they definitely would want him back and on the floor.
Well,
yeah, like the Warriors not being able to win without Steph Curry. Well, duh.
Yeah.
He's one of the best players in the league. Same thing is true for Jason Tatum.
Well, you knew that in the case with the Warriors in particular, it's not just that he's by far the best player in that team. The entire team is designed, like their entire system is designed around either get Steph shots or Steph finds us shots.
True.
Everything is designed around one guy. Like at least the Celtics
have some other options.
Right. They spread things around a little bit more. Like you watch the Warriors without Steph, forget not knowing how to replace his talent. They don't even know what to do without him.
Yeah, it's a gun with a plug barrel. It's just you've got no chance now. I mean, but the Celtics do have a chance. But you know what the Warriors did without Steph Curry? It kind of underscored everything I thought about Draymond. Really, like you are truly in Steph's shadow. You know what I mean? There is no other gear for you.
As Jordan Peele would say, Steph's backpack.
Fair enough. There's no other gear for you. Yeah, without Steph out there, you're kind of on an island. And it does kind of ring true. Whenever Steph is injured, Draymond gets thrown out. Like he doesn't want to be out there without Steph. Yeah.
Would you?
I mean, you would think other stars would.
No, look, you want to compete, but I think every time Steph isn't there, even if these guys have professional pride and they have a competitive instinct, they all know we ain't the same team.
Dang. It doesn't have to be that dang obvious, though.
It's one. I think, though, that situation with the Warriors, that's one of the hardest things to fake in terms of we don't have this guy. We're going to go out and compete without him.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to fake.
Okay, well, football. This was a couple of years ago. Lamar Jackson was at his MVP best, and the Rams caught him when he was injured.
Yep.
It's not like Baltimore quit. They took the Rams to the wire. You know what I mean? So, shocking. Without your guy, you can't compete. I guess they did compete, but there's no way they can win without Steph Curry.
They've been doing it so long, centered around one guy who's one of one in the league. Like, there's nobody in the league who replicates Steph.
Yeah.
He's a one of one player.
That makes sense.
It's like trying to replicate Jokic, or in a lot of ways, replicating LeBron.
Great
There's
answer.
nobody like these guys.
If you lose Jokic, it's over.
Yes.
Because you're built around him.
Yes.
Same with the Warriors. I don't think the Celtics are like that.
Right.
Tatum is a part of that, and he makes them go, but I think they can stay afloat without him.
Yeah.
But it's not a better series without him.
No, it's not a better series, and it's not going to be a better team, and it would not surprise me at all if the Knicks end up closing this thing out tonight. Coming up next, a little hot and cold. Travis and DeMarco Show, 710 ESPN.
Steve Mason and John Ireland.
Mason and Ireland. Next at noon after Travis and DeMarco.
Name John's boat.
I would call it the Worthy.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Worthy.
You know, last time Worthy was here, in the tram is this older couple who went to North Carolina when Worthy was there. It was like they had seen the Lord. It was amazing. So if we named it the Worthy, everybody at the dock would know exactly what we were talking about.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio. That's Mason and Ireland.
On 710 ESPN.
Waba Grill is an LA original, so we've got to keep it real. Real fresh with our Asian-inspired menu that's grilled to order every time.
Pick me up and never put me down.
Real quality with our marinated proteins like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Enjoy $5 happy hour weekdays after 3 p.m. with our 5-piece pork veggie dumplings and a value-sized premium beverage drink like our creamy and delicious Thai tea. Waba Grill, keeping it real every day for you.
Hey, Southern California, I'm Ty Pennington, the home guy, teaming up with Pechanga Resort Casino to give away a brand new house. Imagine yourself in a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home in incredible Temecula, California. All you need to do is play your favorite slots or table games at Pechanga Resort Casino. The more you play, the more entries you earn. Visit Pechanga.com or call 888-PECHANGA for complete details on Home Sweet Win.
Rules and conditions apply. Go to Pechanga.com for more details.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. In the market for new flooring? Why pay more at big box stores? At Hernandez Wholesale Flooring, every day is a deal, no gimmicks. Call 866-62-FLOOR or visit them online at hernandezwholesaleflooring.net. No sale beats wholesale.
Hey, it's Cap. Inheriting a home can be overwhelming, but Seller's Advantage makes it easy. One customer shared, quote, inheriting a home felt like too much work. Seller's Advantage gave us a reasonable offer, handled everything, and closed in 3 weeks. I highly recommend them. Skip repairs and headaches. Call Seller's Advantage today at 888-390-AS-IS or visit sellersadvantage.com for your free cash offer.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
As you know, we've welcomed a new partner here at 710 ESPN, Next Gen. Next Gen, the official AC, heat, and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans.
You're as cold as ice.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week. Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to Next Gen. Boy, time for Who's Hot? Who's Cold? Take it away, Producer M.
Ahoy, hoy. Will you stop touching me?
All right. What's hot is combo of Ralph Fiennes and the casting for Sunrise and the Reaping. So just stay with me. I know no one cares about Hunger Games, but I'm excited about this. So the Hunger Games new prequel came out. The book came out earlier this year. The movie will come out in November. So they've been casting for this movie, and they just announced the casting for President Snow, who's the big bad, who's the big evil villain in Sunrise and the Reaping, and it's going to be Ralph Fiennes. And so he will star in 2 young adult evil characters in my lifetime. He starred as Lord Voldemort in Harry Potter, and he will be President Snow in this version of the movie. He will be playing a role that was originated by Donald Sutherland. So Donald Sutherland played President Snow in the original series of movies. Ralph Fiennes plays him about 20 years younger.
Okay, so this is a prequel of sorts.
This is a prequel of sorts. And what's cool about the casting and the way that they've announced it is that they've been trickling out how they've been casting, like, oh, this person is this person. And the 2 coolest casts, I think, so far are Jesse Plemons playing Plutarch, who is...
Love Jesse Plemons.
But he is playing the same character originated by... shoot, I lost his name. He died. He was a great actor.
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Philip Seymour Hoffman originally played the character. Now Jesse Plemons, who has played him in his son in The Master. So that's great. Another person, Jeffrey Wright, originated the role in Catching Fire. Who will play him, a younger version of him, is a guy who's played a younger version of Jeffrey Wright before. So I just think...
In what?
I gotta look at it.
Who's the guy?
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh. Because I love Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
he's a great actor.
So Jeffrey Wright played Beatty in Catching Fire, and that's honestly the first time I ever saw Jeffrey Wright, but I didn't look up what movie they played each other in. I just saw a TikTok about it yesterday that they did. But anyway, the casting's been great. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about Ralph Fiennes being yet another evil character. You see him in Schindler's List. You see him in Voldemort, and you see him in this. So
he's just a great actor.
He's super evil.
Great actor.
Such a great actor.
Very evil person.
Have you ever looked up Ralph Fiennes' real name?
Yes, it's long. It's
super
super long.
Yeah, he's from Ipswich.
It's a very, very long name.
Ralph. Nathaniel Twizzleton Twickham Fiennes.
Look up Kiefer Sutherland.
No.
Kiefer Sutherland has an insanely long
Really? A
name.
long name?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Go look. I will do it. I will look up Kiefer Sutherland as Emily continues.
So Kelvin Harrison Jr. is who is playing the younger
actor.
version of Jeffrey Wright.
He's a good actor.
If you want a good Jeffrey Wright role, it's a okay movie. The remake of Shaft, where he plays Peoples the drug dealer. You will love him in that. Yes.
Kiefer William Frederick Dempsey George Rufus Sutherland.
You couldn't pick one?
Well, you know.
Come on.
His dad was part of the counterculture.
I guess
we'll
so.
leave it at that.
Okay.
I do know that Jeffrey Wright has played Basquiat, which is now in the Criterion Collection as well. So that movie about Basquiat is really good too.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
But that was his film debut.
Yeah. So anyway, Sunrise of the Reaping will be very good. All the Hunger Games have been very good, basing off if you enjoy dystopian YA novels. But
I have never seen any of them.
Oh really?
You're probably not gonna like them. I like them because I watched them as a kid, and I read the books, and I'm still interested in the series. And I think as opposed to some other versions of this stuff, Suzanne Collins has something to say.
I'm not against seeing or whatever. Like I haven't avoided them. I just never got around to it.
Yeah.
And then it felt
hurry
like
up.
I have to catch up.
Better hurry up.
That's the problem.
So this weekend, what's cold is this weekend is a rivalry weekend in the MLB, and it's amongst. They're matching up people that seemingly have a rivalry or at least in close proximity. So I'm going to read you some of the names of these rivalries, and I want you guys to guess who the teams that are playing this is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start off easy. The Beltway series.
That would be the Yankees versus the Mets. Beltway?
the Beltway.
Oh, Beltway. Would that be Nationals-Orioles?
Mm-hmm. It's the
Okay.
Nationals-Orioles.
Nice.
Okay.
There you go.
DeMarco, who is the Crosstown Classic?
Good Lord. Yankees.
It is Chicago.
Chicago.
The Chicago teams, the Cubs and the Sox.
Okay.
Citrus Series.
Something Florida.
Rays, Marlins?
Yes. All right,
Okay.
so I'll read the rest of it
There's
for
a
you.
hotbed.
Right.
Tickets are going to sell the hell out for that one.
The rivalry matchups are Crosstown Classic between the Chicago teams. You got the Ohio Cup between the Guardians and the Reds.
Yeah.
The interleague state rivals is the Pirates and the Phillies. You have the Beltway Series with the Nationals and the Orioles. The Subway Series with the Mets and the Yankees.
Subway. I can't believe
That's
I
easy.
got
Yeah.
wrong New York there.
Yeah. The interleague rivals between the Tigers and the Blue Jays.
That's called the interleague rival?
They're listing them. I don't
Oh,
know. This is what
okay.
it'll be. There's Atlanta Braves and Red Sox, which I don't think are a rivalry, but go off.
Is there a name?
No, not that one.
Oh.
It's the interleague rivals.
Oh.
I don't even know. I-70 series is the
That's
I know
the
that one.
Cardinals and the Royals?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
know that one.
All right, Lone Star Series.
Texas. Rangers and
Astros.
Mm-hmm. This is another one that doesn't have a name. Interleague rivals as the Twins and the Brewers. Division rivals as the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. The Vetter Cup.
Vetter?
Yeah, Pearl Jam?
V-E-D-D-E-R.
Oh, that
Pearl
would,
Jam Cup.
I'm guessing that would be the Padres versus the Mariners?
That is correct.
Nice. There you go. Yeah.
Freeway Series, and then another interleague state rivals in the Athletics and the Giants. So these are the rivalries. Not all of them, to me, scream rivalry. They just kind of proximity.
Are you saying that the Vetter series might be invented, Emily?
You think?
You're saying that's not a classic rivalry?
But I like the MLB is trying something.
I like
They're
it.
trying.
Why not?
I like the Little Brown Jug. I like that game.
Which one's
The
Little
Red
Brown
River
Jug?
Shootout.
Which one
It's
is
a
that again?
rivalry. That's college football.
The Red
college.
River rivalry.
Rivalry.
I was trying to think.
Little
where's
Brown
that in
Jug.
baseball?
I like that. The big game.
Big
Apple Cup.
The Apple Cup. Yes.
The Apple Cup. Man,
Virginia has the Commonwealth Cup between
Commonwealth
Virginia
Cup.
Tech and UVA.
The Iron Bowl. I always thought that was awesome.
all the Freeway Series is now these days is the reminder to Artie Moreno, God, you F this thing up. Like, that's all it is. Like, because not only is Otani on a different team, and we talked about earlier, did not maximize his time there in any way on the field, marketing, whatever. He's with the Dodgers, and there are all these visual reminders everywhere of Otani is with the Dodgers. And I'm sure Moreno, all the time driving around this city, gets all these visual reminders of you effed up.
Probably.
Like, it's always something that'll remind me. Like, every time you drive around, you see Otani and you realize, I messed that up.
That would definitely stink. Like, I'm sure he made some money off Otani.
Sure, but
you just didn't maximize it.
If, say, Otani went to the Yankees or the Mets or wherever else, like that,
that'd be okay.
sucks.
He's over there.
But at least you don't see it every day.
He's right here.
He sees this every
Married
day.
your best friend, and they bought a bigger house in your neighborhood.
Next door to you.
Right next door.
Right
and you see
next
them pull
door.
into the garage every day.
Right, and their house is covered with their face.
Yes, and she doesn't even acknowledge you.
No. No.
Right, not at all.
No.
Right.
It's and part of your marriage right now, like one part of it is proverbially Mike Trout, who seems at this point like he's suffering from Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
And can't just realize, get out.
He's accepted his fate.
He has.
Yes.
He just Stockholm again. It's Stockholm syndrome.
I mean, look, if you're not interested in all the other stuff and all you wanted to do was just play baseball, I'm sure you want to win too, but you just want to play and get paid.
But
the Angels might be your squad.
But you could do that anywhere.
Right.
Like, if all you
and
wanna
live
do
in
is-
California. And live in California and play baseball and be pressure free.
Go to the Padres list.
There's pressure there. You got to chase down the Dodgers. The Angels are a
Giants,
safe haven.
That's true.
Just go play.
That's true. The Giants and Padres, there's some degree of pressure, and nobody goes to the A's.
Right. There you go.
You're out of teams.
You want to play baseball down here and not be bothered with the rest of it? The Angels are your squad.
And
guess that's his MO.
before we move on to the dump and our break, but to circle back to the first thing, the casting for the movie, Kelvin Harrison Johnson Jr. was in the movie with Jeffrey Wright, was called Monster on Netflix. It also stars A$AP Rocky, John David Washington, and a bunch of other great. Jennifer Hudson was in this movie. It came out in 2018, and Jeffrey Wright played his dad.
And A$AP Rocky is going to be starring soon with Denzel Washington in Highest to Lowest.
Yeah.
John David Washington's dad, obviously. So
Really?
everything comes full circle.
Do me one favor. Spell Ralph.
How would I spell Ralph?
Spell Ralph.
R-A-L-P-H.
Then how is his name Rafe?
Because he says it's Rafe.
My last name should be should be called differently, and it's just how
It is what it is.
I think it's some type of either Old English or Old Scottish, Welsh, whatever type pronunciation.
You're pronouncing my name wrong then. My name is actually Steve. It's just spelled like that.
And I wish that they did cast Kiefer as the President Snow, but maybe just didn't line up with his schedule, didn't want to do his dad's role, etc. They cast
You mean
Rafe.
Kiefer William, Frederick Dempsey, George Rufus Sutherland, that guy?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Put the
I
belt
would have
down.
put him there, but
Donald must have been high.
Bro, come on.
Hi. When you come up with that. Coming up next, The Dump. Travis and DeMarco Show, 710 ESPN.
Sunday, it's more than a match. It's a battle for Los Angeles. LAFC is riding high on a 6-game unbeaten streak, while the Galaxy are still searching for their first win of the season. Two teams, one city, bragging rights on the line. Catch all the action of the LA Derby, LAFC versus Galaxy, Sunday on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investments to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover trains will quickly move guests between their terminals and our new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and Kiss and Fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less, and trains depart every 2 minutes beginning in early 2026. Learn more at lawa.org/ESPN.
Cap here. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt. With years of experience and a passion for helping people, if you've got water damage at home, call Avner Gatt today. 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. That's 818-917-5256. Avner Gatt. Your claim, our game.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
It's time for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
All right, what are we dumping?
I'm never quite sure if I'm in charge or if Emily's in charge, but I will start
with
happy birthday, number 82, local icon Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo's 82?
Trejo, 82
Wow.
years old. One of the most improbable celebrity careers ever.
Yeah.
Like, you know his backstory. Like
he was in jail.
In jail,
Prison.
Prison.
Yes.
Yeah, he was not in
Not
jail.
jail.
He was in
Prison. Yes.
Very, very troubled youth, a lot of bad stuff going down. And when he was in jail, I believe he got his start. There was a movie that was being, I want to say it's called Runaway Train, I think. I think it's a John Voight movie.
They brought him in to train somebody to box.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they asked him, like, if he'd be willing to get hit or whatever. And they asked him what he's paid. He's like,
Yeah.
For that money, you can beat the crap out of him.
Yep.
And then from there, he started getting small roles in movies. Then he became this commodity as an actor. He's
El
got
Mariachi,
restaurants.
Yeah, great.
Desperado. Yep.
Desperado. I will never forget that. Was so iconic. Yes.
And, yeah, the knife thrower.
Yes.
Yep. He was also, Danny Trejo, about 10 or so years ago, an in-person guest for the old Kamenetsky Brothers podcast.
No way.
We got Danny Trejo in studio. He was absolutely awesome, super cool dude. It was.
I see him a ton at Rams game. He's awesome.
And we met him at the Jaime Harin golf tournament after the Super Bowl when he came on our show,
sports
too.
fan.
Great dude.
Huge sports
Okay,
fan.
so there's we had this discussion before. There's actors and there's movie stars. I consider him a movie star because he might be one of the most recognizable people in Hollywood. Period. You know, every time you see him, you know exactly who that is.
He got his own thing, Machete. Remember?
Machete, don't text.
If you can know them by their silhouette, they're a star.
There you go. Yes.
He is. Machete is a Robert Rodriguez movie. I think he's like a distant cousin of Rodriguez.
Is he? Okay.
Like I think they are removed cousins, but cousins nonetheless.
Yeah.
So happy 82 to Danny Trejo.
And I'm happy he got a good guy role in Spy Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy he got to be the good guy. Yes.
Spy Kids was, funny enough, the first movie I remember seeing in the theater.
Oh,
I
really?
remember watching it with my siblings and my dad, and we were going to see the Marquee Theater in our hometown. And walking out, my dad said, "What's your favorite part of the movie?" I'm like, "What did you like about the movie?" And I go, "I like when the Thumb Thumbs beat him, or the Thumb Thumbs lost, or whatever." It was just very cute, and I remember that's my first movie.
That's the first movie you remember being in the theater?
It's probably not the first movie I ever saw, but it's the first movie I remember walking out of the theater and having that experience.
You
Exorcist.
are so insanely young.
Yes.
Screw you. That is just
Exorcist?
upsetting.
What's Exorcist?
The Exorcist?
That was one of my first movies.
That came out when we were like one.
I was a kid. Yeah, I remember
But
going
it might
to
have
that.
been a re-release, you know?
Yeah, revival, re-release.
Or maybe it was The Omen.
Could be.
Something
Omen
I
is
should
more
not
when
have gone to.
The
Yeah.
Omen is more when we were kids.
Yeah, something I should
I
not
think
have
The
gone to
Omen
as a
is
kid.
early 80s.
Okay, and the first movie I actually took a date to was Goonies.
The Goonies.
Goonies, and we took the bus. It was awesome.
Good date movie.
Yeah.
Happy 60th to Janet Jackson.
Hey, yes. Did I tell you my Janet Jackson story?
No.
So Janet Jackson is the it girl for me. Had posters.
Oh, sure.
Right, that was her. So I had a chance to meet her. A friend of mine who was dancing on the TV show I was doing for Fox was also dancing for Janet on her tour. So she said Janet is going to be at this club. I can't remember. It's like Citrus or something. It's like a jazz poetry place. So I go in and I'm being walked back, and there's Janet Jackson in the middle of this VIP room, and she's sitting directly in the middle of this big table. So you have to go around people to meet her. So finally get to meet Janet. My heart's pounding out of my chest, and the only thing that popped out of my mouth was, I play football. And she looked at me and like, that's nice, and turned the other way. And I'm like, that was my only op, and I blew it.
There's a documentary right now on Hulu about Sly and the Family Stone.
Yeah.
Really about Sly Stone. And there's a great section in there where Jimmy Jam, the legendary producer.
We talked to him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a big sports fan, friend of the show. He was in The Time for a while. Then he became like one of the legendary producers.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
And Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they produced Rhythm Nation. And he's talking about how they've basically got most of the album ready, except for the Rhythm Nation track that they can't quite figure out what to do with it. And they're in a club, and Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself by Sly and the Family Stone starts playing. There's that one.
Thank you for letting me.
Yeah, well, there's the heavy sample that dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun dun.
That's in that song.
That is in that song, and Jimmy Jam says like immediately,
boom!
It hits him. He's like, "This is it." He's literally like, "Check, please."
Yeah.
He's like, "I got to get to the studio right now."
Right.
They start laying this down, and this is back when samplers only had like 6 seconds of space or whatever.
Oh, really?
So he's just playing this on a loop, and they get Janet to come to the studio, and she's like, "What is that? What is that?" And he's like, "This is Rhythm Nation." And she's like, "Yes."
5, 4,
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Yes. So yeah, one of the true legends also played Little Penny on Good Times.
No doubt. Yes. Got burned by an iron.
That was
so mean. Her mom was so mean.
That was a very special.
That was an episode.
Of Good Times.
Yeah, that was an episode.
On this day, 45 years ago, 1980, Magic Johnson puts up 42 in Game 6 of the NBA finals, most by a rookie in NBA Finals history. It helped clinch the NBA title over the Sixers as a rookie out of the gate. Magic is already winning this team championships.
Unbelievable. Will never happen ever again.
To this day, actually,
Yeah.
still the youngest player with a 40-point game in NBA Finals by a margin of 3 years.
So Cooper Flagg would have to score how many in the finals to break this record? 43? 43 points.
It was a 42, 15, and 7 line.
Will never happen. Never happen. Ever again.
Magic was really good.
Super good.
I mean,
super good.
I know, not great hashtag analysis,
Yeah.
but my God, Magic was good.
You know, that's funny. It's like with him. The farther we get from LeBron, when he stops playing, the more we're going to realize how great he is and how great he was as a player.
Well,
right now, it's hard. There's so much of it going on.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's always hardest to realize in the moment what something truly means.
Yeah.
Like the more time you have away from it, like the more context you learn, because eventually stories get told, you learn more details, you get different things to compare it against, and you really realize how incredible things are.
The next superstar, we're talking about the next young superstars that take over the league. When they retire at 38, we're going to say, wow, what a career. And then remember, LeBron played 23 seasons. You know, like, oh my God.
I know.
Maybe I should have given him more props while he was still playing.
Yeah, I remember, like, when I used to write for ESPN, one of the favorite things I ever wrote, but also was my favorite piece while covering the Lakers, it was right after the Lakers won the 5th championship, Kobe's 5th, 2010 against the Celtics. And I wrote about how so much of Kobe's career had been spent up to that point either comparing him to Jordan, comparing him to Magic, and starting to become comparing him to LeBron. And people were actually just missing Kobe's own career. And it's like, at some point, just make sure you're taking the moment to just appreciate Kobe's career for what it is.
Yeah.
Like, as opposed to trying to make it just a signpost to compare to somebody else. Because Kobe's career, beyond being an incredibly successful career, it was incredibly unique. Like, his story was really unusual.
Yeah.
With all the twists and turns and all the different things that happened. Like,
I thought about this. I thought Kobe's life is actually movie-worthy.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it really is. It could tell a story from start to finish.
Yeah. So
yeah.
You're right. Like, you really realize over time, not that people didn't realize in the moment Magic is incredible, but the more time passes and the fewer people replicate what Magic does, you realize, no, seriously, he's incredible.
Really incredible, yes.
1981, this day, Betty Davis Eyes, Kim Carnes, that
No
hits
way.
number 1 for 9 straight
How much
weeks.
money you got in your pocket?
Cash?
Yeah. I bet you all of it, you can't give me a second Kim Carnes song.
I'm guessing, I don't know if this is right. Was she the Kids in America?
Let's look it up.
If that's not it, then I don't know another Kim
If you were to
Carnes
come
song.
up with one, I would have been wrong because I can't.
Kim Wilde.
Oh, that was
Kim Wilde. See, I would have won all your money. There you go.
I do not. Yeah, you can have all $4 I have in my pocket right now.
That might buy me a soda.
I don't know if Kim Carnes has another song.
I think she might have one more, but I don't
But
know
if
what it
that's
is.
your only song, it's one of the best songs ever.
And she got on We Are the
freaking love
World.
that song.
Yes. She got on We Are. She was so popular. That song was super popular back in the day.
Kim Carnes, I'm looking up right now other songs. I have not heard of a single one of these other than...
Give me the top 2 outside of Betty Davis House.
There's Green Green.
Nope.
Crazy in the Night.
That sounds like a Kiss song.
Oh, there is a song off the Flashdance soundtrack,
Go ahead.
apparently.
Which
it's
one?
called I'll Be Here Where the Heart Is.
Nope. Missed it. Totally. Nope.
I do not recognize a single other Kim Carnes song
At
other
all.
than Betty Davis.
Nope.
But she'll
And We
live
Are
on
the World.
forever.
She will. She will. Like, you know what? People make fun of one-hit wonders, but if your one hit is that great, it's better than what 99.9% of people who ever want to go into music accomplish.
Oh, no doubt. The members of Kajagoogoo never have to work because of one song. Yes.
Lou Vega.
Lou, same thing. He can go on tour and sing Mambo number 5 to the world and never have to work. Yes.
Nobody ever wonders, like, do you think he's going to play Mama Number 5?
And what about the other Mambos?
right.
1 through 4, 7 through 10.
He needs some prequel songs.
Yeah, yeah.
He needs prequel Mambos.
Oh, my God.
Just different names of women.
And then finally, on this day in 1986, I have to mention this just because if Travis were here, he obviously would. A little movie called Top Gun was released.
Oh, yeah. One of the best movies ever. I can remember the feeling. I swear to God, I tried to sign up for the Navy.
Really?
I did.
Like right after it?
Every kid in the world wanted to fly a jet after that.
Shout out, obviously, to Val Kilmer.
Yes.
And
Iceman.
This anniversary comes a week before what we think will be the final Mission Impossible is released. You think they're going to keep making more?
Of course. Especially if it does well, they're going to be another one.
It may just not include Tom.
True.
Tom
they may move on.
Leave.
They tried
because
to,
I have a strong feeling it might be for Ethan.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
They tried to give away Bourne. They tried to give away Bourne to Jeremy Renner.
And look, that may not mean anything because we were all told at the end of John Wick 4 that John Wick was dead. Clearly, he is not dead because he's going to be involved in John Wick 5.
You can come back in movies. Yes.
Or it's going to be like an in-between time, whatever. Yeah. So it might be like what they did with Daniel Craig's James Bond.
Best friend moment. Give me Iceman's Rio. The guy that sat behind Iceman.
Oh,
give me his name.
Oh, his call sign?
No, the call sign of the guy sitting behind him.
Is he Viper?
Nope.
Who is he?
Slider. Ice and Slider.
Ice and Slider.
Yes, and Maverick and Goose.
You know what?
Hollywood and Wolfman.
People did not realize it at the time because Tom Cruise is the star and the charisma and the magnetism and he's doing all the fun stuff. Iceman was 100% right about everything.
Everything, yes.
His basic point is, I don't want you to get other pilots killed.
And you
somehow
will.
He's the villain.
And you will.
He's the bad guy for trying to keep other pilots alive.
But sometimes you got to go beyond the rules to take the shot to save people. That's the only thing. Iceman wouldn't do it.
One more thing before Super Crosstalk is if you want to look at the biggest stars in Hollywood right now, young stars right now, there are two movies to look at. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Top Gun Maverick because Top Gun Maverick has Louis Pullman, Glenn Powell, Monica Barbaro, a bunch of other famous people. What's his face? Miles Teller. And then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Sydney Sweeney, Austin Butler, Margaret Qualley. And who won the Best Actress? Mikey Madison. And then Uma Thurman and his daughter.
Like this era's Outsiders.
I was going to say the Outsiders are like Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
It was those movies where you see a lot of
young
people
Hollywood
before they truly launch. Coming up next, little Super Crosstalk. Mason is sitting down in studio as we speak. John Ireland joining from Idaho, 710 ESPN.
Steve Mason and John Ireland.
Mason and Ireland. Next at noon after Travis and DeMarco.
Now, what do you get buttons at home?
So that's what they
and
have
they press
now.
the buttons?
Yeah, that's what you can do right now. You could train your dog to buttons for if the dog wants a treat, it'll hit a button and it'll associate that with the treat. So it's using
my dog will literally just sit on that button waiting for treats. A serious stream of treats.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio. That's Mason and Ireland.
On 710 ESPN.
Are you looking for a trusted roofing expert in Southern California? Journey Builders has you covered. This is Mike Trudell from ESPN LA. Journey Builders specializes in quality roof replacements for homes around the Southland. They'll ensure that your roof stands strong. ESPN LA listeners who call in today to book their free same-day inspection get $5,500 off their roof replacement. Journey Builders also offers financing. Call 888-607-8808 today. That's 888-607-8808 or go to journeybuildersinc.com.
All right, we got a caller who says, I need to buy a car and I need to save money. Well, my friend, I've got one answer for you. The Cerritos Auto Square. It's America's largest auto mall. 24 dealerships, all the top brands, all in one easy location right here in SoCal. And here's the secret. These dealers sell more cars than anyone because they have low prices. And they can actually afford low prices because they sell so many cars. Check it out at CerritosAutosquare.com.
Cerritos Auto Square.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K2560X 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. It's time for Super Crosstalk.
One day, Mace.
One day.
One day.
One day.
Before you head on out.
Head to Hawaii.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm super excited.
HAWA. What island?
The Big Island.
The Big Island.
Yeah,
Yes,
I've been
sir.
to an island other than the Big Island. Where are the Rams doing their minicamp? That's on Maui,
That's
right?
Maui. Yeah.
Yes. I love Maui, my favorite island.
I think
Margo, you're going to that, right?
I am not going. I'm not going.
Oh, really?
They're only going to be there for like 3 or 4 days.
It's really quick.
Yeah, it's mini camp, so there's not going to be a lot of work, like field stuff going on. So yeah, there's no point for me to go.
Well, I just think the point of you going is to get a free trip to Hawaii.
Yeah, let's go to Hawaii.
I went to Lakers training camp in Hawaii for 8 years. It was like the greatest perk ever.
The only time I've ever been to Hawaii, I did an assignment for ESPN, the magazine, where they wanted me to do something involving the Pro Bowl. But the way it was set up, the athlete they wanted me to work with, I don't even remember who it was, but I needed to be there like 3 days or 4 days before the Pro Bowl started. Then I had to do something at the Pro Bowl. In between, nothing. Like there was
well,
I'm
that's nice place.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Except it rained every single day I was there.
Yeah, that's
Bet it smelled
That
good,
happens
though.
a lot in Hawaii. It rains a lot in Hawaii.
It was such a bummer. It rained every day.
I think Maui is the rainiest of the.
I thought Kauai.
Kauai
Kauai
is
is
the
the-
rainiest.
yeah.
Maui gets rain. Big Island doesn't get as much rain.
More
'cause it's
traffic, I
more
keep hearing.
volcanic.
Yes.
And, dry and.
So we did this today, Mason in Ireland,
Yes.
John and Steve.
What is it?
We were talking about the snake draft. Things we would like. Emily, can you describe this thing?
So, things we would like to have named after us. So, it's because City Councilman in San Antonio wants to name the airport after Greg Popovich. And do we want to read all of our picks that we usually do on a Friday?
Well, the airport is the greatest thing you can have named for you because it goes on forever.
Yeah, airport is the coolest. That's number one on the list.
Well, you haven't
I
heard
heard
our list yet, John.
Airport or a highway, one of those two.
Yeah. Oh, so here's the order. So
Okay.
Jorge picked first. He said he wants a camera named after him because there's different cameras that are named after people.
Like a steady cam would be the Briones cam.
Oh,
like
see, there you go.
The
A
Ari
technique.
Jorge or whatever,
Yeah.
the
I like
Alexa.
that.
So Jorge had camera, a tequila, and a motorcycle brand.
Cool.
Andy had a sandwich, a movie studio, and an aquarium. DeMarco had a strain of weed. A sports rule, like the FAR rule or the DeMarco rule.
Oh, yeah.
And a wrestling move.
And a chokehold, like in MMA.
Oh, nice.
They're named after people, yeah.
And then I had a drink, like Give Me the Hebel, or a food combo, like the Hebel combo, and then an elementary school. So those are my three.
That's
Wait a minute.
nice.
Who had the second pick after Jorge?
It was Andy.
Yeah.
Andy, you with your first round pick, you took a sandwich.
Yes.
I have
Boy,
a
do you
sandwich.
shoot low. Mason
Look,
already has one.
Go over to Ike's. The number 4200 is my sandwich. It's not that.
Man, you did not shoot high enough with your
love
you
being there,
blew
but
your
it's-
first. You just took Michael Olowokandi, man.
I am higher, man.
Anthony
This is what I
Bennett
want.
selected by
This
AK.
is what I want. Everybody, look.
Stromile Swift.
You may say that, John, but how many people have been jealous of those that we know who have a sandwich around town and you don't have one? I have heard everybody at this station bitch about the fact that they don't have a sandwich.
Do you want me to text Ike right now? He'll probably have you over to the downtown location and make a
Yes,
sandwich
yes,
for you
I
right
would,
now. I'm
Mace.
going to text him right
Yes.
now.
And you know what?
No,
that
how about
means
this?
it was
How-
worth
how about
drafting
this,
it first
Andy?
overall because I got what I wanted.
Yeah, that was a horrible pick. It shouldn't even have been taken at all, and you blew your first round pick on it. And if you do get a sandwich, I think we should name it the Blame Pie, and then you can argue over whether or not it's yours.
Actually, somebody pointed out to me on Twitter that
God.
my first choice should have been Blame Pie just because it keeps getting stolen from us if we don't actually have it named.
I got a pizza joint.
What's weird about the blame pie is I don't think we've done one in a really long time. The blame pie sort of is past.
Yeah, we didn't even do one when the Lakers got eliminated.
Do one now. Do one right now. Impromptu blame pie for the Lakers.
For the Lakers?
For the Lakers being eliminated. Go ahead.
Okay. The first one is I would give about 50% to Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves. They were just better.
They were really good.
That's fair.
All right. 20% to the lack of the Lakers bench. That JJ Redick had so little confidence in his reserves that he became the first coach ever to play an entire 5-man lineup for a whole half. So now I'm at 70%.
You got 30%
right?
left, yeah.
Okay, 30% left. Should we give 10% to JJ for trying that move?
Yes.
Or do we applaud him for going for it even though it didn't work?
No, it didn't work, so I think we give him the 10%.
And also, I would argue that JJ lost too much faith in too much of his bench too quickly.
Should we give him 15 or 20% instead of 10?
I would 20.
20?
20%.
Okay, so if you give him 20, now we only have 10% left. Okay, so then
and
I got to give
1% goes to Frank
9%.
McCourt.
Right. Well, that always goes last, though, Andy. You buried the lead.
You got 9% left. Where are you putting it?
I would go. My favorite guy on the team is Austin Reaves.
Yep.
Did not show up in the
he
playoffs. He gets 5. Even though I just heard from a very reliable source that he had a sprained toe and he didn't tell anybody about it. Also, I think we have to give 4%, 2% each, to LeBron and Luka because Gobert stepped up, Edwards stepped up, Randall stepped up, and our two guys didn't meet their step up. So that would be – so it's 50% to the Wolves. What did we decide, DeMarco? 20 for JJ.
Yep.
30% for lack of a bench. 5% to Austin. 2% each to LeBron and Luka, and 1% to Frank McCourt. What do you think?
There's your blame pie.
Wait, why does Frank McCourt get 1%?
He always gets 1% of any blame pie, no matter what.
No matter what the sport or what we're talking about.
DeMarco, for at least 3 years, everybody that called the show blamed Frank McCourt for something.
Yes.
Like the Rams could have lost a game to the Jets, and somebody blamed Frank McCourt.
Frank McCourt.
No, he knows what he did. Frank McCourt truly knows what he did.
Does he? Because he still gets money every time.
That's how he knows what he did. He's still making money off this.
Andy, one of the biggest misnomers in maybe all of Los Angeles sports history is that Frank McCourt came out a loser. He came out laughing all the way to the bank.
It's like Donald Sterling in a lot of ways. Like Donald Sterling still ends up winning even when he loses.
Right, but Frank, Jamie sued Frank for everything. Frank won that lawsuit, and then he got maced. What did the Dodgers? What did the Guggenheim Group pay for the Dodgers? Like $2 billion, right?
$2 billion, 2.1, 2.2, something like that.
And I think when Frank bought the team, he bought him for like $400 million.
And is he still making parking lot money?
All of it. Anytime you park at Dodger Stadium, it goes right in his pocket.
Wow. Again.
Live long enough to be the villain.
And he's building the circus ride, too.
The gondola?
The gondola he's
Man.
building.
Well, that's hit a hitch.
That has hit a hitch, yeah. I'm not sure that one's ever going to come to pass. You know what is coming to pass, though? I saw this on the Channel 11 news last night. Team USA has made a deal with some air taxi company, and they will become the official air taxi of Team USA for the Olympics. And they showed it. It takes off like this. It flies like this. It lands like that. Not that this is radio, so you know.
Like a flying car?
Like a flying car, and it lands vertically.
How high does it go?
I don't know the specs on it, but they did show. They did show that they're using these sky taxis to get Team USA around.
How are they gonna? I mean, are we gonna have air traffic control on steroids?
We're doing
once
so
these
well
sky
with air traffic
taxis
control
start
right now.
John, that's a great question. I don't know.
I saw a video yesterday of Drake trying to take out a drone that was flying outside of his hotel room to get a look at.
Well, with a slipper, yeah.
Here's the thing. They're not going to be a lot of these things right now. It looks like it's just going to be dignitaries and Team USA. But I do think that they're going to be like helicopters for TV stations, right? I mean, there's some sort of navigation system for that. I would think there would be for these flying cars, too.
You've gone full into the Waymo
All
experience.
Waymo.
You have embraced driverless cars. Would you embrace a driverless air taxi?
Oh, a driverless air taxi.
I want to drive
think I might
air taxi.
I think I might like the Waymo air taxi.
Well, did you hear that Waymo recalled 1,200 cars?
Oh, did they really?
There was some glitch
Yeah,
or
I want to
something.
drive her in my air taxi.
Take that back. I take it all back.
Yeah.
See? I was just about there.
No, that's the thing about you can get a glitch.
You
They
can.
got a glitch.
Wow.
What's weird is they didn't take all of them off because I've still been seeing them around town. They are, by the way, Waymos are only in a particular part of town. It's pretty much from Century City to the South Bay to the beach. It's like that area, and they don't go outside of that for the most part.
And I've never seen a Waymo on the freeway. Have you?
Not yet.
I don't think they're allowed on the freeways.
I've never had.
Not without a driver. Not without
I
a
saw
driver.
I saw a Waymo with the driver the other day.
Yeah. Yes. Not autonomous on the freeway.
There are Waymos in our area, like in this area of the studio as we speak. Like I drive past Waymos on the way
I've
here
taken a
all the time.
Waymo downtown here. I will say this: the best part about a Waymo is that it's less money.
Yeah. I keep hearing that.
And you don't have to tip.
And you don't have to tip, which is
No combo.
Which is why you got less cash going out the
You're
door.
just hoping against a glitch.
Hoping against a glitch. So far, I don't know. That's the only thing I take, and I've never had a glitch.
There you have it.
I've been Waymoing all over the place.
Nice.
Yeah.
I should have picked
Did you take it to the
autonomous car.
airport?
Yeah. Huh?
Do you take it to the airport,
I
Mace?
did not take it to the airport.
Okay, because that's the only place I don't think I would take a Waymo from my place to there.
I question the drop off and all that business with the airport and the sort of getting up right to the terminal. So I don't take them to the airport. I take a person to the airport.
You take a person?
Yes.
You mean you get a ride?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Sherpa. Yes.
Mason Wan, they ride a Sherpa to the airport.
Can I tell you the stupidest thing we do is when we are now we have a house sitter that lives in the house, all that kind of stuff when we're gone. But Juan likes to pretend that there are people there all the time. So when we are in the Uber to the airport tomorrow, he'll say something like, "Well, I'm glad Mom's there to take care of everything because he doesn't want the Uber driver to take the house.
Case in your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm glad
I do that.
I'm glad Mom and Dad are there.
I'm glad Mom and Dad are there with the shotgun.
With the shotgun, exactly.
They're armed to the teeth,
Just a
Mom and
little
Dad.
Did we leave the pit bull outside, or is it
all that kind of stuff? Yeah, I turned the security system on.
Right? Does he do like a big eye wink?
Yes.
Well, thankfully, Juan is an actor.
So he pulls it off, exactly.
All right, Super Crosstalk.
Who's it brought to us by?
Nobody.
Oh.
710 ESPN Mason Ireland next.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN LA app.
Just search ESPN LA in your App Store or Google Play.
Download, tap, and bam!
You got 710 ESPN in the palm of your hand.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario.